to the villa with their new Love Island water bottles customized with their names. We have Maggie the magician and Brandon the bookkeeper. What's a B?
Butler, a bartender,
Brandon the
Backstreet Boy.
bartender. I'll shake you up a drink.
What's your name?
I got
What
more
is
than
your
a
drink of
rabbit in my
choice?
hat. That was low key. The heart rate challenge was funny.
Oh my gosh, Brandon. I was
Oh
like,
yeah, when we
this
spoke
show is
yesterday
not
and you
for
hadn't watched
kids.
it yet.
Yeah, I was like, this is not for kids. This is intense, buddy.
It was a
They
lot.
were not playing around. They're like, everybody all of a sudden had all of these skills that we never thought they would
No,
have.
I was listening to a podcast and they were like, how do they know how to do all of this?
They must have been practicing.
We gotta
I saw
practice.
them practice a little bit before, but I mean everybody except for Harrison. Oh my gosh, I was like, Harrison, please just like stop.
We
You're
gotta just
terrible.
like do like cartwheels and splits in like an open room and see if we can be like Serena and Janae.
Literally though, those girls are baddies if you didn't know already. Also, I'm not convinced the boys won because what? The girls pulled out all the stops.
I don't know. But I will
Yeah.
say for the audio listeners, Maggie and I have Love Island water bottles with our names on it.
We just entered the villa.
We did. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see, but I realized we did the bit, but didn't really say
What
why
was
we were doing
happening?
it, what was happening.
Yes.
So for the
No,
audio,
this Yeah, no, this water bottle is amazing. Brandon stopped by my house to bring it to me, and I literally screamed so loud. I
he did.
probably had people looking outside their windows to be like, "What's going on?"
He was like, why is she screaming?
I was like, "I got a Love Island water bottle with my name on it." It's so funny because when he showed me when I opened it and saw what it was, I pulled it out and I was like, "Does it say Serena?" I don't know why. Like I wanted her name and not my name.
Not my own name. It has to be someone from the show.
The
Yeah, it
queen
was an
herself.
impulse purchase, and I figured I get it. It's our birthdays, and like we need something to remember it now
Yeah.
that we're Love Island heads.
Thanks, Brandon. I was gonna say I felt like it was a birthday present, but you didn't say that explicitly, so I'm glad you said it now because I didn't want to embarrass myself and be like, "Oh, he got it for my birthday," when you actually didn't get it for my birthday. That'd be like really weird, right? That'd be really awkward, right?
It would be, but I would get it for you even if it wasn't your birthday. Well, because I remember, I think but when we first started, watched the first episode, I was like, should we get water bottles? And Maggie, this was before we were really into the show.
I was
I think
probably like, "Fuck no."
you were like, why would we do that?
I
You're like, not a Love Island
know.
water bottle. Uh,
We have drank all the Love Island tea. We're officially fans.
we are. And for today's episode, welcome to the shade of it all, y'all. I'm
Oh,
Brandon.
welcome to the shade of it all. I'm
Welcome.
Magdala.
Although, it is kind of funny because like I get introducing the show, but it's kind of like they're clicking it and it says the name. So they
Yeah.
know.
I guess it's a formality. Like it's like polite. Like when somebody comes to you, you
That's
say hi
true.
first. It's like,
That's like, yeah.
"Hey, welcome back. We're
It's like
we're
when
still
Taylor
here.
Swift introduces herself to a group of people that already know who she is.
Um, Hi, I'm Chapel Roan, and I am your favorite artist. To my
Chapel, is that
ex,
you? Oh my
to
gosh.
my ex, I hate your fucking guts, and I hope you're crying yourself to sleep at night. And everybody's just eating it all
What was that
up.
from? Was that like an interview she did?
No, every concert she does
Oh,
the
at a
"I'm
concert.
Chaperone, I'm your favorite artist," and then she always like finds a moment to look into the camera and be like, "To my ex,
I
I
love
hate
that.
you." No, it's pretty amazing.
That's iconic. I love that. We love
If
Chapel.
you don't know
If
Chaperone, go listen to
if
her
you listen
song.
to past
Pink
episodes,
Pointy Cum is a bop.
right, we love Chapel, especially Maggie. She dreams about her.
Yeah. You know
But
what's so funny? I was thinking about it today. I kind of like don't care anymore.
that's what happens. You go
It
through
was a short
phases.
phase.
It
Yeah,
was.
especially
And
with
like
people you don't know.
there's still love, but the obsession's
Hmm.
gone?
Yeah. But y'all, it's about to be my birthday. I got
It
my birthday hair
is.
done. I got my birthday hair done. I'm leaving on Friday. We're gonna do the last podcast while I'm away celebrating my birthday. And then like literally like a week later, we're gonna be celebrating Brandon's birthday. We're going zip lining. It's gonna
We
be so
are.
fun. It's birthday
It
season,
is.
y'all. It's about to be Leo season. Brandon and I are Leos. We're about to tear it up.
If y'all couldn't tell, we're Leos. If y'all didn't know,
That's so
for
funny.
whatever reason.
I'm definitely a July Leo. I used to like feel like, no, there's no difference. There's definitely a difference. I'm so emotional. Brandon is not. Obi, my partner, my brother, both are Leos. Granted, they're guys,
Hmm.
but I feel like August Leos are super level-headed, but also have the strong personality that you want to get to know. Me, I'm
Oh,
emotional as hell. So I feel like that's the Cancer in me a little bit. I am on the day it changes. I'm a cusp baby. Anyway,
oh,
it's Leo season, but I'm not really a
you're still
Leo.
a
I'm
Leo.
almost a Leo. I am a Leo, but I kind of act like a Cancer. I'm crying all the time. But it's fine.
You could be like Cancer rising or something.
I actually have my thing. But I don't remember what time I was born, and my mom claims that I have my birth certificate, so I need to find it and then like actually give the details one day.
Yeah, I did it once years ago and I kind of forget. The only thing I remember is I know I was a double Leo. And I was like, that's egregious. And that's
Wow, Brandon.
that is
Just
a
out here
lot,
in these people's faces.
I guess.
That's,
But you know,
you know what's so funny is if you bumped into Brandon on the street, he'd be like, "Hi, yeah, yeah, Brandon, nice to meet you." And then you know how people put on a smile, like that polite smile, like y'all get to see the real Brandon. This is Brandon Lord.
you
But if you
know,
just bumped into him, he'd be a little shy sometimes.
I'm a little soft spoken, getting to
A
know
little bit.
me, but that's okay.
That's okay, you double Leo. You're just hiding. Like you're basically like hiding.
If you listen to our first episode, we get into the origins of our friendship and meeting. So it's a very
Yeah.
similar thing
Oh.
where Maggie talked a lot and I didn't. But you know,
No, that's literally the best story ever. If y'all want to listen, go back and listen. We didn't do chapters back then, but we do now. So if this conversation's annoying you, feel free to skip ahead. We do episode by episode as well.
to be fair, before we didn't need to do chapters because the episodes were not as long.
No, they weren't as
I think the
long.
first one was like 30 minutes.
We've kind of changed our brand too, because at first we would just talk about pop culture and then like whatever show we were watching. This one is like right now we're strictly Love Island people. We
We
like if you think
are.
about it, the last few episodes we've barely talked about ourselves. We got straight into it,
I
with
mean,
the
we
exception of my
gotta.
broken toe.
Yes. And but we gotta like Love Island it's a full-time job.
It really is.
And
Low key,
it's
I'm
coming to an
exhausted.
end. I'm exhausted too, but I'm a little
I'm
sad.
sad that it's like kind of not boring, but a little like anticlimactic now.
It's at the
A little
point where it's
lackluster.
like the couples are solidified. There's
Hmm.
not much like depth, like there's depth, but it's just the drama's kind of done as far as
Hmm.
like the breaking up and all that, even though there was a
Hmm.
breakup in these episodes we're going to talk about. But that one was kind of like a whatever. Like that one, I can't wait to talk about that because I'm just like, if y'all know the whole Rob Daniela Aaron thing, I'm like, this is the stupidest thing in the world. But
It literally is.
yeah, so for today's episode, we're going over Love Island USA season 6, episodes 30,
Hmm.
31, and 32. A lot of
Hmm.
filler, but like fine. Like I enjoyed watching them.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It wasn't
but
bad.
yeah, before we dive in, I'd like to, and maybe we can make this a segment at some point, give our Shady Shiester of the week. And I want to give that to fucking Tom Sandoval, because fuck
Oh my
him.
gosh. He's such a fucking idiot.
He is suing Ariana for going through his phone without his permission and finding out that he was cheating on him. And that's the audacity of men.
It's the audacity of it all.
It's like, that's like, I feel like Aaron would do that. What you mean
Yes.
you accessed the cameras at the
Basically
villa
the
and you
same
found out I
person.
was kissing Daniella? I have to sue you now. Like, that's
It
crazy.
was my experience. It was my
It was my
experience. Like
experience.
literally. will say anything to not be responsible. The so for context, we watched Vanderpump Rules before we watched Love Island. Brandon
Hmm.
is a Vanderpump Rules historian. He literally knows everything, been following these people since they were skinny and broke, right? They were literally all skinny and broke. Like I started watching
They were.
season
If you
one,
watch the
they
first,
look like they
yeah,
look like
the
shells
first
of
seasons.
themselves.
That's the thing. It's like, and it's not even that they're big now. It's just now they're like they can afford food, so it's just
Yeah.
like they're
Yeah.
eating.
Not much bigger. The guys are a little bit bigger, but not much. You know, the girls were just like looking sick and only eating salads and taking shots. Anyway, so we reviewed Vanderpump Rules. If you don't know, Tom Sandoval did a terrible thing. Google Scandival, you will see it. But it's just the audacity of it all that now 2 years later he would decide to sue Ariana. Like that's crazy. If he did this right after Raquel sued, that would be one thing. But the fact that he's doing it now is kind of wild.
Well, I mean, what, like, in what way? Because it's like, how are you going to sue someone for finding out you cheated? Like, like, and he said, remember in the reunion, he said, I can't believe Rachel's suing you. Like, she's soulless. And
Mm-hmm.
now he's
Look
suing
at him.
her because what? Because you're broke?
No, I literally think it's because he needs money and he thinks he would win. I don't know.
How would it's like, what?
You know, it almost, there's a couple thoughts. The first one is it almost makes me think that he just makes all his decisions alone without consulting anybody because all of his choices are stupid. Like a lawyer would not tell you to pursue this because what? Like you're just gonna lose money in litigation hiring someone to try to sue this girl. Like you're stupid. Number
Right?
one.
Yeah.
Two, how did she invade your privacy if you guys were in a relationship and she had your passwords? She had access to your phone, easy access to your phone, but she violated your privacy by opening the phone that you gave her access to and sending a video to her to somebody and herself.
Like,
Like
what's on
that's
your
crazy.
phone? Emails with the president? Like, it's not like the Secret Service. Like, your phone's not top secret, bitch. Like, shut up. Like, what
And
do
you
you
gave
mean?
her access, so you should be mad at yourself. It's the audacity of it all, Brandon.
No,
Because
it
instead of
is.
being upset that because you just said he had a video he shouldn't have had to begin with.
Yes. So it's like, you're dumb. I
You're
can't.
mad that you recorded something and I found it. You recorded something you shouldn't have recorded. I found it and sent it to myself, and you're mad at me, even though you recorded it when you shouldn't have been
Yeah,
recording shit.
dude. She found the video, but I didn't tell her to look through my phone. Dude, he's dumb. And also, did you know that
Mm.
his lawyer and Rachel's lawyer are brothers? Which
Is
is
that a
odd.
conflict of interest?
I don't know, because then it's like, well, Rachel's suing him,
Yeah.
but then it's like, then months later, like you said, he's like, I'm gonna sue Ariana. Like,
Are they in cahoots?
I wouldn't imagine because I think Rachel's still suing him.
Yeah, because isn't Rachel suing him for the same thing that Ariana is
Sh
suing, or that he's suing Ariana for? Isn't it
Basically,
this is
it's
so dumb.
it's like they're literally it's like two idiots in a court case, and this is what's
Oh,
happening.
maybe he's trying to be like, I'm not responsible for that because she's responsible for this. So Raquel, you can't sue me. Oh, I'm sorry. Rachel, you can't sue me because it wasn't my fault. It was Ariana's fault. And here I'll sue her and prove it was her fault.
He would come to that conclusion. That would be Tom Sandoval's logic. Like, I know I took it without you knowing, but even though
I
you're
didn't even
already
send it
suing
out.
Ariana for this, I'll sue her too. My thing is, I'm like, the lawyer fees. Like, Ariana, she's making some coin now. So I'm like, she's probably like, hopefully, like, I hope she's not like spending too much money on all this.
Oh, I'm sure she's
But
being very responsible.
I know at
Our
least,
queen.
right? She's very fiscally responsible. That's why she stayed in that house, la. Anyways,
That part.
but I'm like, how
Get
is
him.
Sandoval? Oh, see,
Yeah.
no.
I think it's a couple things. I also think he probably sees that she's making money and he's like, this would be a great time to sue her. Or be like, hey guys, remember that all this shit happened? I don't know. He's so dumb. He's
He
just really
is.
dumb.
He
Like you
deactivated
got
his
dragged through.
Instagram. Couldn't take the heat.
I will say, people like Tom do concern me because they have such big egos. I would hate for him to do something stupid and hurt himself
True.
because he does get so much backlash. Um, I don't agree. He's a
Yeah.
public figure. I don't agree with his opinions, but I don't want him to die. I don't want him to
No,
hurt
of
himself,
course not.
you
I
know?
mean, he can delete his Instagram. No one needs to see posts from him, but like,
Yeah.
take care of yourself. But also, like, don't sue your ex for finding out because
It's
she
like
found out
play
you
stupid
cheated.
games, win stupid prizes. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
this is dumb. I
He's
don't
just,
know.
well, I will say Schwartz deleted his birthday post to Tom Sandoval.
Well,
Um,
they might be fighting maybe because
well, because
that
here's the thing
happens
with
kind of
Schwartz.
often.
This, I hope, is the straw that breaks the camel's back. Because he often has Tom's back, but you could kind of see him slowly weaning off throughout the season and like the after
Oh yeah.
shows. Like they're
Oh
in
yeah.
business, but like he's not nearly as close with him as before. So I would have
Brandon.
imagined him finding out he sued Ariana. He'd be like, What the fuck?"
Yeah. We have seen that Schwartz, he's got like 5% common sense.
He
It kicks
does.
in. He's got like a he's got like a emergency common sense.
It
Like even
does.
during the reunion when Tom was like, "You had your fucking t-shirt on," and Schwartz was like, "Don't say that." You
Schwartz
know, like
almost like melted.
literally, or the homeless person thing, right? You were like,
Yeah.
Schwartz looked
Oh
mortified, right? Like
yeah. Schwartz
he's
was like,
got what are you saying out loud on TV while people are recording it, dude? Like Schwartz has common sense. I won't even. I'm not even gonna give him 5%. I think he's got like 70% common sense. Like he is very self aware, and I think he knows like being associated with certain people is hard, especially Tom, who is somebody who does not take responsibility for anything.
he
So it's hard to
doesn't.
defend somebody like that.
It is. And I saw James like to post that was anti Tom. Katie's commented under something and was just like, you're a fucking joke. Like basically just, Katie went off as she does, which we love. And then
Yes.
reposted a video of Ariana on Love Island looking great. And then
Yes.
Sheena made an Insta story where she's like, so many people have been asking me what I think about the lawsuit. And like, of course, I don't want to be friends with Tom Sandoval because that's not somebody I want in my life. And like the thing is, like, it's just so cruel and it's just so mean and just meh.
No, it's not a good move for him at all. And yeah, I'm not surprised that the cast is coming out to be like, we don't agree. Did Lala say anything?
Not that I've seen,
Hmm.
but that would
Yeah.
take a
I mean,
level of maturity. I don't know.
yeah.
That would take
And
something.
she did uninvite him from her birthday party. So
She did, but she
I
did
think
just
the
have her
whole like,
baby
oh,
monsoon. Like
wait, what?
she had her baby shower, but she called it a baby monsoon.
Oh, I thought you were saying that she had her baby and named it Monsoon. I
Oh,
was
I
about to
hope
be
she
like, oh my
doesn't.
gosh.
There's speculation it
Did
might
she
be
have her baby yet?
Storm. She hasn't had it, but I think she's kind of close.
What's the first baby's name?
Ocean.
Ocean. Right, 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 right.
Hmm.
These people really like nature.
They do. Summer, ocean. I would assume Sheena will probably address it more on her podcast that comes out on Fridays. So we can stay tuned for shenanigans.
Do you
To
listen to it?
Um, I used to during the season because she posts
Mm-hmm.
videos on YouTube, so I would watch them and kind of just to see what she says. And like
Mm-hmm.
it depending on the guest, but usually not really. I mean, not
Yeah.
really. I don't same with Lala's. I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah. This is so interesting. Well, we'll see what happens.
We shall,
Love
but enough with these Vanderpump dweebs. We got to get into these Love Island hotties.
Island hotties on an
Ooh.
island.
Yes. So let's dive in. Let's dive into episode 30. This one, as we'll see, it's very much like the summer sports day.
Oh
which
yeah.
was fun, but it was kind of like, okay, I didn't know this was a challenge. But oh yeah,
Low key though, right?
yeah.
That's funny.
It started with oh yeah, because previously Harrison picked Sierra to recouple with, which left Kane single and vulnerable, but ultimately he got kicked out. They're like, you have 5 minutes, teeth, to like pack it up.
Get your
And
ass out, Kane.
bye, Kane.
Bye.
Um, but in the beginning of this episode, Kendall's freaking out because he thought Harrison was
Hmm.
gonna pick Nicole, and Nicole was nervous too. But people were saying that. I did not think he was gonna pick Nicole.
I didn't think he was gonna pick Nicole. I think Kendall has PTSD
I
because
guess because if you
he's
ask
so
Kendall,
anxious,
they've been through it more than anyone.
which is so great. Yeah, you've been through it more than anyone. Anytime there's a fan vote, you guys are safe. Like Kendall, I don't know. I think he just has PTSD and he's constantly like terrified that something's gonna happen to him and Nicole, which like you should have a certain level of fear on this show, but Kendall's just OD with it. Like he's just
He is.
it's like constant. Like Ariana, anytime Ariana is here, they always show Kendall just
Oh my
looking
God,
scared.
fuck. Ariana's here. Fuck.
Like the principal just
Ariana.
walked in. Like,
Ariana's here.
what's
I
gonna
can't believe this.
happen? Meanwhile, Rob always looks smug and he's smiling, and it kind of pisses me off. I'm like, you're
Yeah,
so comfortable.
I guess.
He's just like, like grinning all the time. They're like, one person will go home, and Rob is just standing there like smirking, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? It's like
I
you know you're not gonna leave.
I know, right? I will say, and we'll get into it, but in the recent episode, he made me laugh. He had a
Oh
really
yeah,
funny
Rob was
moment.
a little funny
And I
in
was
some
like,
of these.
okay, Rob, if you were more like this, like maybe it'd be chill. But like you get like weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they were freaking out. Sierra and Harrison chat. And Sierra's overall relieved. She's like, thank God I
Yeah.
don't have to be with Kane anymore. So thanks, Harrison. He's like, you betcha. Was that a good Australian? That sounded, I don't know.
It was a little rough, but you know, you do your best. Usually you hit it all the time. You're doing
Australian's
okay, Brandon.
hard.
It
Um,
is. I don't try accents.
I know. They did say though in the conversation, they're like, we're looking for love. And it's like, you're on Love Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else would you be looking for? It goes
Um,
without saying.
right. Daniella and Rob chat. He seems very uninterested, which we'll find out more about that.
Yeah.
But she's just like, oh, I just love talking to him because he listens so well. And it's like, I don't know
Girl,
if he's
she
listening.
said that part. She said he makes her better, and I was like, "How, Sway? How? Explain. I want to know. How does Rob make you better? Explain."
Rob makes people worse.
Literally.
Rob makes people
Literally.
confused and discombobulated.
And then did you hear his hair comment? I guess Harrison told him that he's the master of not doing his hair. And I
Oh yeah,
thought
he
I
like
was like,
always looks like his hair is never done. He's like, I don't do my hair.
he's like, you master the like messy hair look, and Rob's like, I don't try. I think I was like, haha, Harrison called you Dusty.
Hmm. This was funny. Leah and Miguel chat, and Miguel's having this moment where he's like, we're really gonna miss Kane. He was a great guy, da da da. And Leah just side eyes him and is just like, yeah, we're really gonna miss Kane.
I
Yeah.
didn't hear him say his name. That he just kept going like that guy was really great. That guy was the best. That guy was awesome. And then Leah's like, yeah, that guy was cool because the announcer said something like I think that like Miguel has short-term memory or something. Like they
Oh
never said
yeah.
Kane. They were just talking about that guy. I thought it was funny.
It was. And do you notice that Miguel did it? And I think Janae at one point, they're kind of like saying, like, and maybe one of them started it and then Leah did, but I think we had heard Leah say it first when she was like,
Yeah.
Good morning, Cordella's crazy. Because when she side eyes, he's like, side eyeing is crazy.
Oh, that's funny.
And I'm
They're
like,
starting to mock her.
they are
I
like,
love
that's
it.
funny. They're
Yes.
cute, even though he's like, instead of darling, I'll call you big booty baddie. And she's like, how did we get to that? I'm like, good question.
Brandon, your Australian's not great, but you nail Leah every time.
Thank you. I'll
You
take it.
sound literally just like her.
That's the most important. Um, I will say I stumbled across her. I stumbled across. I looked for her TikTok again because I was trying to find when she was recommending like body moisturizers. We use the same Kiehl's whipped body butter. So
Oh
I
my
am
gosh.
Leah, and
Brandon,
look,
I see it. I see it. You both have like quality shit. Brandon, I don't know who, a couple of people on TikTok have gone through her outfits and said how much they cost. Like she wears like strictly designer clothes.
she does.
Leah
She
is a
pops
Persian
off.
princess.
That
She's a princess.
she okay. That dress she wore to the recoupling after Casa. That was Roberto Cavalli. Like it was like a
Hmm.
high-end fashion designer.
Oh
And
my
the one that
gosh.
defied gravity that somehow was like on her, even though it had like mesh.
Oh, you know what? I looked later and it looked like it had like a string that kind of like went through the back, I guess. But yeah,
Okay.
no, Leah's got some money. She's like,
She
y'all worried
does.
about Cordell? You should be over here
I
trying to
have
get
two
this bag with
farms,
me.
right?
She is a nurse something. She does something in the medical field.
She does. She's in medicine.
She's
Uh,
Persian, right? Am I wrong by saying that? Persian
no, she is
princess?
Persian. Yeah. She
Okay,
said
okay,
her
okay.
first language was Farsi.
Yes, Persian roots. Okay,
Mhm.
okay, okay. Yes.
Um, Kenny and Janae chat, and she reminds him his
Ooh.
speech was beautiful and tells him there's no
Mm-hmm.
cons other than him being boring. And it's just like a funny like moment. And then
Yeah, no.
he's like, I love that you're like a best friend or a companion. Yeah.
Kenny, what?
I'm like, okay, Kenny, you're funny.
I don't know if he's tired or if he needs just I don't know what he needs. She also said that she doesn't like his food because he doesn't season it.
Oh yeah.
He's like, yeah, you never eat anything I cook, and she's like, it's okay, those are your only qualms. And I was
She's
like,
like, it's not a red flag. It's something we can fix.
Kenny, you're Dominican. How do you not know how to season some food?
That part, I'm like, we should know how to cook. Like, Spanish
Mhm.
roots. Like, we know how to, come on. Like,
Unless he's one of those like super fitness guys that just eats bland food because like, you're watching everything you eat.
he
Could
might
be.
be because, and
Yeah.
he goes to the gym a lot. So that
Mm-hmm.
very well could be it. But
Mm-hmm. He
he
goes to the
seems
gym and he goes to work.
He
We
seems
know
very
those.
simple. Like his favorite food, he said at one point was like chicken and rice.
Yeah.
He drinks his coffee black. Like it
Yeah.
seems very simple, which is fine. But
It's fine. It's just
Janae's like, I've
different.
been
I
around the
wouldn't.
world. I've tried all the cuisines. Like we gotta get with it.
No, for real
Uh,
though.
it's the next day, and Janae and Kenny go to Soul Ties. And they talk about how they're excited for double dates with Serena and Cordell, which I'm sure would be lit. And she wants their first date to be a carnival. And she's all like, "You're my favorite person in the village." That's another cute moment where they're just like, "Oh, da da da. I can't wait to like be with you on the outside." It's sweet.
When they're in the hideaway.
No,
Wait, what did you say?
they're in Soul Ties.
Oh, soul ties,
Soul Ties.
eating breakfast.
Yes, yes, yes.
I don't know why I thought you said the hideaway. I was like, Brennan, we skipped a lot of stuff.
No, in the hideaway, they were not talking about a first date.
You're, I don't know. I'm like half awake. Who were you just talking about?
Kenny and Janae.
We're in soul ties having breakfast.
Yes,
Okay, okay, okay. I'm with you. I'm with you.
you're good, Maggie. uh,
So sorry.
Sierra and Harrison have a cute chat on the dock. Well, I said
Hmm.
cute. They seem to kind of have chemistry. I don't know. But he's all like, "Oh, I pierced my own ears." And she's like, "Bet I pierced my own nipples." And I'm like, "Damn, that
Girl.
sounds painful."
Sierra is the jack of all trades.
She is. She's like,
Meditation,
DJ,
DJ. What was the
meditation,
other thing?
nipple piercer. I don't know. There was something else
There
though.
was something
I
else. I'm like,
forget.
Sierra, what do you do though? But then you ask her what her goals are, and she's like, I want to be happy. And I'm like, girl, what?
She's like, I just want to be happy and find love. It's like, all right.
She's funny because Harrison brings her breakfast. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't expect that." And I was like, "Girl, yes, you did. Remember when you were crying when Miguel didn't bring you breakfast? You were expecting breakfast. Don't lie."
Also, was I tripping? Wasn't there a scene where she's on the balcony and it's just like, "Hi, Harrison." He's like, "Do you want breakfast?" And she's like, "Yeah." Like, so why are you acting surprised?
He
Like,
did. He was like, "What?" I think he asked her. He was like, "What do you want for breakfast?"
yeah,
And then so maybe the gesture itself,
I guess. Even though Miguel did make her breakfast, even though
he
she
did.
prematurely cried.
Literally. I'm like, girl, you did expect breakfast because you were boohoo crying and then you tore whatever Miguel ate brought you. She tore it up. She was eating so fast.
She did.
Sierra's
Uh,
funny.
she is. Serena and Cordell chat about the outside world and they talk about like meeting each other's family. And
Hmm.
it was kind of funny. Is this also where he like did the impersonation of her dad?
Yes. He
And
did
she
a
was like,
really good
"He's a
one,
church
apparently.
dad." And then he
Yeah.
did it. And she's like, "No, like he sounds exactly like that."
Brandon, what do you think their families are thinking? Because Cordell is like, I want you to meet my sisters. And I was like, ooh, that could be good. Or that, like, they could hate you, Serena, or they could love you. Because, like, the thing about family is, like, I feel like most 9 times out of 10, they're going to take your side because they're your family.
Yeah.
But if you're doing something really egregious, they might not. So I'm
They'll
like,
be
they
like,
may love
"We
Sierra,
get
or
it,
I mean,
Serena."
Serena. They may, it's not Sierra. They may love Serena or hate her because she did do a lot. The breakfast, throwing the breakfast, carrying
Yeah.
on all around the villa, calling him out his name, doing her 10,000 steps around the villa, tearing
I
him to shreds.
think I saw that I don't know exactly, but I think his family does like her.
Okay.
Or I know at least Odell like posts on his stories to vote for them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm like, okay. And I
Yeah, I
feel
guess
like
they
his
wouldn't do that if
sisters
they
would
hated
probably
her.
be like, "We get it" with the breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
that's wild.
some tea is Kaylor's mom does not
He's
like
upset.
Aaron.
Good. Good.
She's like,
This is
"We're gonna
great
talk
news.
with Kaylor when she gets home." And I'm like,
Yeah.
as you should. But
Yeah. Yeah, because I will say, even though Cordell showed his ass, he like made up for it in a big way. His actions spoke very loudly, you know.
he did. So I
Aaron, on
feel
the
like
other hand,
right. So I feel like Serena's family would probably be like, "Okay, you learned. You got
yeah,
this." And they were
yeah,
probably like, "Yeah, Serena can be tough." I feel like it would be one
right.
of those situations where the other's family will like not bash, but be joking, be like, "Cordell did deserve that." Or like, "Yeah, Serena's tough, right?" Like it would
Yeah,
be kind
you're
of
right.
funny.
I thought
Uh,
it was cute how he was gonna change his flight to go back with her.
it was.
He's
And
like, I'll change my flight. She's like, my parents are there. He's like, I'm coming.
I'm like, and you will, Cordell. We love
You
Cordell. I love
will.
them. They better win.
Yeah.
Um, but Aaron tells Rob he wants to do a date with Kaylor and wants the question to be his girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
I thought it they're both sitting and Aaron's like, I wonder what I should do. And Rob's like, we can do this, 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 and this, and this. And Aaron's just kind of like staring into space. And I'm like, not Rob planning your engagement party.
I mean, you might as well sit Rob down instead.
Right?
Um, Kaylor tells Daniella and Nicole she's excited to introduce Aaron to her friends and family. Mhm.
Ooh.
But she doesn't know if she wants to be his girlfriend in here. Wants to see how it is outside. And I literally wrote, she's saying all this, but watch her cry and be happy when he asks her later in the episode. And not to give a spoiler, but that's exactly what happened.
Poor Kaylor, man. Is there a psychologist nearby? Like, don't they have one for the cast? Like, I really feel like someone needs to talk to that girl before she leaves.
They do. Ariana was on Chicks in the Office today,
Hmm.
and she said, because they were talking about Kaylor, and she was like, Kaylor's young.
Yep.
And like, the thing about it is Aaron's around her 24/7. So
Yeah.
he's like giving her like all the things she needs. So she's
Right.
like hopeful that when she steps outside this and sees everything, it'll be different.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll see.
We will see.
But Leah gets a text and it's summer sports day.
Summer Sports Day. This was actually
Um,
kind of cool.
it seemed like it'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
There's two teams, pink versus gold, and it's basically just the teams go against each other in like these mini challenges. And then,
Mm-hmm.
there's a winner at the end. But
Mm-hmm.
on the gold team is Cordell, Serena, Aaron, Miguel, Leah, and Kaylor. And on the pink team is Daniella, Rob, Janae, Kenny, Nicole, and
Kenny.
Kendall. I love how they say that.
Me
Kenny.
too. Me too.
Uh, the first one is hold your horses, and it's basically like
Mm-hmm.
you run around and you have like the horse toy thing with like the stick,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to like jump over these hurdles. And
Yeah.
it's Janae and Kenny versus Serena and Cordell. Kenny was really into it.
I was like, what is he
I know, I
doing?
was a little like, is something happening? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I was like, they're not trying to win. Both him and Janae, I was like, y'all look so
Yeah,
goofy.
Janae was like posing. She was just like stunting on everyone, which I love. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Cordell was funny. He could jump. I was like, he was doing like all these big jumps. And like, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, Cordell. Serena too, but she told us she's a track star and a cheerleader. And I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah. No, her jumps were impressive. I was like, damn.
They
Serena,
were. She was clearing them.
Serena shows us a lot these few episodes. She's got a lot of tricks up her sleeve. I
She
thought it was so
does.
funny. In his confessional, Cordell was like, I got the finesse, the pizzazz, the charisma that Kenny don't have. You feel me? And I was like, that is Cordell. That man right there, that's Cordell, not the one that we be seeing. Like we saw him for real, like being himself for a second. It was
We
funny.
did. It was cute. I love Cordell. The next one is Splash Dash, and it's Daniela and before, sorry, Cordell and Serena won, if you couldn't
Oh
tell.
yeah. Hmm.
But Splash Dash, Daniela and Rob versus Karen and Aaron, and it's basically like there's like the inflatable like track on the water, and you have to race to the end. And
Yeah.
it was kind of boring, but like Kaylor and Aaron won because Daniela like
Yeah.
basically stumbled and like didn't do
Yeah.
well.
It looked kind of easy.
Yeah, it didn't look insanely difficult,
Yeah.
but you never know. Watch us like fall in the
Yeah.
middle.
Literally. I these all of these people are crazy fit, so
Right.
yeah.
Shot put at love, and it's basically like this weird thing where it's like each team would put their head through like the holes in a table, and then the
Yeah.
other team has to throw water balloons to like get points and like
Mm-hmm.
basically hit you in the face. And that was Sierra and Harrison versus Serena and Leah. And with Harrison and Sierra, they kept going for Serena. And I at first was feeling a type of way. I'm like, why are they going for Serena so much? And then I realized, oh, she has maximum points. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. And I low-key feel like production put her in the back knowing she'd get mad just to see what she would
Right.
do.
She was like, why are
Like they
y'all
made her
going for
the
me so much?
she was like getting pissed and I was like, this is really funny.
She was. And then when Leah and her go, they try to get revenge and they get Harrison a couple times. And then I think they even
Yeah.
get Rob. And Rob looked happy. He like got hit and he was
Like everybody's flinching and Rob's just
"Mm,
like Kaylor's like turning her whole face away and Rob is just sitting there like kind of like bracing it, sitting still.
yes.
It's weird. He's weird.
He's an interesting one. But Harrison and Sierra win.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then in the final challenge, Romance Regatta, it's Leah and Miguel versus Nicole and Kendall. And it's basically like this canoe race, and you have to like
Mm-hmm.
get, was it baton or like something to
Yeah, a
light the
torch.
torch to light it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to like go back to the dock and like light your team's torch.
Mm-hmm.
And Lee and Miguel are on the gold team, and because they've won a little bit more and they were in first place, they got a 5 second head start. That didn't matter because when you have tryhards Miguel or tryhards Kendall and Nicole, who were very into it, and Leah and Miguel, who are two goofballs who don't know what they're doing, that was
Literally.
funny.
It was so funny. Have you ever tried to paddle a canoe? That shit is hard.
It is hard.
If
It's
you're not in sync, you're just gonna go in circles.
exactly, and they were not in sync
Not at
at
all.
all, and they were going the
Meanwhile,
wrong way at one point. And
right.
Leah was like, "What are we
Meanwhile,
doing?"
And then Kendall and Nicole are like left, right. Like they were in sync, had a strategy, knew it all. Nicole was so funny. She's like, "Is this what it feels like to be an Olympian?" And I was like, "Girl, you just won a game with no prize.
I
Like,
know, right?
relax."
And you beat Leah and Miguel, who are basically like falling over the whole time. Like, calm
Right.
down.
But they like they are so competitive. They ate it up. I mean, look, I love it. I love winning too. I probably would have been happy, but I was just like, nah, this is what it feels like to be an Olympian. Nicole, chill.
I know. It was a little too much. It was like, okay, you like winning a little too much. Like, stop.
Yeah.
Leah and Miguel
Like
were funny
relax a
though
little
when they
bit.
were talking about it and they were like laughing.
Oh
I,
yeah, they were
I
like, we
like
were
them
so
together.
bad. Yeah. Can you imagine if he like got mad at her or something? They both have a good sense of humor to be like, it's all good. We fucked up. It
They're
was
like, we
bad.
both sucked.
Yeah.
Serena was low key pissed, and she was like,
You
they,
are.
they, they were trying to like give like pep talk, like we did great, and then Leah was like, we sucked, and she was like, yeah, but y'all suck together at least. uh, it's the nighttime, and Aaron's nervous about his date with Kaylor.
Oh.
He's making pasta. Rob,
I didn't know they had pasta.
I didn't either. That
This is
was
the first
different.
time we're seeing them eat pasta. He also made like a sauce. I don't
He
know if
did. It
that
was
was
like
avocado.
green, like maybe a pesto.
Yeah, I was like, where are you getting these ingredients? Do you guys just eat breakfast food because it's easy? Like, y'all had
I know,
pasta
right?
this whole time, and Aaron knew how to make like homemade sauce.
I mean, Aaron's 27.
Yeah.
So, like, he might not act like it, but he's kind of old enough to know how to cook, I guess.
No, it makes sense. I'm just surprised I haven't seen them cook at all. Like anything
Yeah.
real up until this point. Like you knew how to do that this whole time. It's been like 30 days, maybe more.
I wonder if they have maybe they gave them access to food like this because it was like a date thing, and he
Oh,
was like, I'm gonna ask her to be my girlfriend.
that
So,
would make more sense to me.
and they're like, okay, here's some pasta.
Yeah.
Um, I wrote down that Rob's snake tattoo is actually horrendous. I don't know. He was just shirtless, and I was really looking at it, and I was like, it's just so big and so stupid.
Yeah. It's like big and small at the same time because the snake is like thin, but
Yeah.
it goes on for a while. And I'm just like, there's just a lot here, but also nothing. It's like a
And that's
two-dimensional
Rob for you. There's kind of a lot, but really
of nothing.
nothing. Uh, but Rob, or yeah, Rob isn't sure how him and Daniela will be on the outside and thinks she likes him more than he likes her.
Mm,
And I'm like, that's probably true.
yeah.
Um, Kenny tells the guys he wants to talk to Janae about closing things off, which is sweet. And then
Hmm.
Aaron brings Kaylor upstairs to the little setup, the little romantic date, and she literally cries almost right away. And then when Rob brings food, she cries even more. She's like, Rob, is this
Yep.
food?
Oh my gosh, she was really surprised. I mean, he's done nothing for her, so her surprise makes sense.
I guess a meal is an upgrade from a seashell necklace.
Hmm.
So I
And
guess to an extent,
gaslighting,
in
yelling at
gaslighting,
you.
this is technically an upgrade. So
Much of an upgrade.
yes, and then he like reads her a poem to ask her to be a girlfriend. I thought about writing the poem down, but then I didn't. It was like
No,
roses are
stupid.
red, violets are blue. I want to be with you. Be my girlfriend. And she's like, "Oh, yes." Uh,
This is so sad. I was like, this is the epitome of love bombing.
oh
You do
yeah.
a grand gesture and basically put me in a position that if I said no, I would be an asshole. If Kaylor said no and stood on what she had said earlier, she'd look bad, right? He'd be mad. Like
Yeah.
it would cause so much drama. Like it'd be like, oh, you don't care about me, you blah, blah, blah. Like, this is the epitome of love bombing. You put her in a situation where she literally cannot say no, and you like overdo it on the I like you, I care about you, I love you, all this stuff. It's not real.
It's
He showed,
not.
girl, he showed you who he was on movie night and also during Casa.
Plenty of times. He showed you bad things more than good. This is where she needed Serena because Serena,
Oh
she'll
yeah.
be the ass. She doesn't care. She'll like if she looks like an asshole, she doesn't care. Because she's like,
Yeah.
because usually she doesn't, but like
Right.
taking the meaner route, we should say, or just like the
Right.
not being as forgiving. She needs
I
Serena to be
just feel
like, don't be his girlfriend. Like, don't do that.
right. I just feel like because she's for women's rights and women's wrongs, she's not gonna tell Kaylor what to do. Even
True.
Liv was like, "You guys are great together." So I'm sure there's a lot we don't see, but we've seen enough to be like, "No, girl, those are really big red flags. You do not need to be with this man." And he's over there saying, like, she's like, "Oh my gosh, you're my second boyfriend," or something like that. And he's like, "And I'll be the last one." And I'm like, "No, you won't."
Why are you
Listen,
lying?
it's today is July 17th. By September 1st, they will not be together. Mark my words. I'm gonna
They
set
will
a
not.
reminder on my phone to be like, on September 1st, look and see if Kaylor and Aaron
Check
are
to
together.
see.
They're not gonna be together. He does not
No,
love you, sis. He does not.
no. And hopefully your family can talk some sense into you.
I hope so. I hope so.
Ugh. But while that's happening, Janae and Kenny are at
Mm-hmm.
the dock and she's walking and she has her heels and she doesn't want to fall and he's like holding her dress and it's so
I love
sweet.
it.
And
Her
they're
dress
just
was
talking
super
about
cute.
how it was. They're talking about how they're in a good spot and he loves her energy and outlook on life. And she's like, I had a fear of rejection, but decided to be myself with you. And he says he's blessed to find her and that he
Mm-hmm.
wants to be closed off and she loves it. And they have a
Yeah.
cute moment and she jokes to us. She's like, we're getting married. And I'm like, Janae, shut up.
Literally, like I hate you. You're so cute. Keep talking.
I
I
know.
love Janae.
Maybe one day I could see
Love
it.
is in the air. I love this for her. And like I feel like they really didn't have a bumpy ride. Like this is just kind of like a genuine connection that developed with time and they're both feeling each other. Like it's really cute.
Exactly, because the bumpy part was just like after Casa, and it was just like amazing because it was like so
Yeah,
dramatic and it made them closer. So,
it did.
it worked out.
Yeah.
But Kenny gets a text that the hideaway is open, and people are like, oh my gosh, it should be Kaylor and Aaron. But the other part of the text
Mm-hmm.
was it has to be someone from the pink team because the pink team won. So
Mm-hmm.
that left Janae and Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're getting all dressed up. Janae's wearing all red. And when she walks down, he's like, it was kind of like a funny reaction. He almost like dies laughing, and then they're both laughing because he's like, what the fuck? I was like, it was cute.
It was. I like their sense of humor. It's very playful, like Serena and Cordell.
It is. And then the girls kept being like, Nay, nay in the hideaway. Hey, hey.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I love that.
I
Uh,
did too. I don't
yes.
know who said it, but somebody said that she's a bad bitch with a fat ass, and I was like, I concur. I'm writing this down.
Anyone could have said it because facts.
Janae
Um,
is a baddie.
She is. And in that heart rate
Hmm.
challenge, and we'll get to it in this next
Ooh.
episode, because that episode ended basically just like with them going to the hideaway. So episode 31 starts with them in the hideaway. And I just think they're
Hmm.
so cute. Like they're going around, they're like looking, they're seeing all the bondage
Yeah.
stuff, and it's like funny.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Kaylor and Aaron talk about being boyfriend and girlfriend. Boo, tomatoes, tomatoes.
No, he's literally like, I can't imagine just like watching a movie. Like watching a movie with her is a crazy concept. And I'm like, I mean, I get what you're saying because you're in the villa, but like you sound stupid. And I also
He
don't
is
like you.
stupid.
So I'm gonna over critique everything you do and say.
Right. Period. It cuts back to the hideaway and Kenny in the lacy eye mask killed me. I was like, what is
Oh
happening?
yeah. I was like, what's on his face? And then it was a mask, and I was
Yes.
like,
And then I
okay.
was like, does he have a foot fetish? Because they played some game and he like grabbed her feet and she's like, I knew you were gonna do that. And I'm like, oh, okay, look at y'all.
Didn't
Uh,
he compliment her feet once?
Probably. I could see
That's
Kenny doing
funny.
that. I like your feet.
Right. You have really nice feet.
So they have a time in the hideaway, which
They
we'll learn a
do.
little more about the next day.
But I'm just
Um,
annoyed. I feel like the camera like production barely spent time on them. When Nicole and Kendall were in the hideaway, we heard their conversations. We saw the game. We saw them talking. The next morning they had another talk. Like I really feel like production is trying to make us all want to vote for Kendall and Nicole because they barely gave Kenny and Serena any or fuck, Kenny and Janae any airtime. It's annoying.
I agree because I remember with Nicole and Kendall, I skipped their scenes and I had to do it a few times. But with this, I wanted to watch, and they didn't even show that much.
It was like two scenes, and then it's the next day, and we see them leaving, not even like
Waking
talking in the
up,
morning,
yeah.
nothing, nothing.
It was dumb, but at least we got a
Yeah.
little something, I guess.
Brandon, in
Yeah.
all the festivities, I forgot that Harrison is here. I barely noticed him the whole last episode, and I caught a glimpse of him the next day, and I was like, oh, they did
Oh.
bring that
I
guy.
mean, not to get too far ahead, but it's not like he was here for long anyways. It
And
was,
it's like they didn't spend any time. They were like, "Oh yeah, Harrison is here," and then Cordell. It's like
yeah, it was because especially, I don't know, it is weird because we kind of had the one episode where it was a lot about him, like with the 3 dates.
yes,
And then after that, it was kind of like, who's Harrison?
thing.
I'm like, why'd y'all bring him then? I don't know.
Literally.
It was kind of weird. But Rob tells Aaron again that him and Daniela are just in different places mentally. And I'm like,
What does that mean?
I don't like I don't know. He's so stupid. I can't with him. But meanwhile, Sierra and Daniela are tatting. And I did know I love Sierra's blue set she had on.
Oh, it
Um
was so cute. I
it
was like,
was
"Who's that?" Okay,
I was like,
Sierra, go
that's Sierra.
off.
But while Rob's saying, oh, like we're in different places mentally, Danielle's like, I just really like Rob. Like I just think he's so cool and like I like him a lot. And I'm like, this is kind
Yeah,
of sad. Um, but then Rob does tell Aaron he feels bad letting Daniela like him more than he likes her. To which I'm like, oh, look at noble Rob. Just
you're
feeling so
such a
bad.
chivalrous person, and you always consider other people and you're
Always.
just such a nice guy because we noticed this 2 days ago. But now on the third day, you have a conscience you want to tell this
On the
girl.
third day of Christmas, Rob said to me,
I don't
I
like
want to
you
get back
anymore.
with Leah. Uh,
Because even on movie night, we kind of clocked it. Like he started feeling away then. That was a little bit ago.
he like
He
he's
didn't
a
do that girl any
confusing
favors.
he's a confusing soul because I feel like he was
Mm-hmm.
never into her. But anyways,
Mm-hmm.
but he does say he wants to talk to her and end things. So we can stay tuned for that. Janae does tell Kenny they've had the best experience of all the couples, and they leave the hideaway and everyone cheers. They're like, nay, nay, in the
Woo!
hideaway, Kenny.
Kenny.
And then they like disperse. The girls are talking, the guys are talking. Janae says there was hella appetizers and finger foods.
Hmm.
I love their like way of talking about it, like the restaurant terms.
Yeah.
And says that Kenny is way more talented than he looks. Okay, Kenny.
Ooh.
All right, Kenny. Um, and then Kenny tells the guys he that they did everything but it, and that he got no post nut clarity. And so he's just really happy. And he is glowing. Like he looks like alive.
I'm so sorry, but what does that mean?
Like after being like, oh God, I'm not into them. Or like, what did I just
Oh.
do?
Oh, okay, cause sometimes you see somebody you're really feeling them, and then after you have sex, you're like, fuck, I don't like it.
You're like, why did I do
Basically.
that? Yeah.
I
But he
understand. I
didn't.
understand.
So
I was
that's
like,
good.
what
Okay.
is this term you threw out? I'll
You're like,
ask
I don't
Brandon.
know what this means. Hmm. Um, but Aaron gets Kaylor a massage. Why did I even write that down? Serena,
Everybody was getting a massage that day.
they were because then Serena was giving Cordell one. I did note that. And then Serena wants to talk about making it official because I guess she got word that Cordell might want to soon. And she
Yeah.
says, she's like, I want to wait till we're in the outside because I don't want it to be like
Mm-hmm.
pressured or like I want it to be like
Mm-hmm.
separate. And I'm like, fair enough.
We love a level-headed queen. And I also feel like that was real. I really like that she did that because I feel like it's genuine. She and Cordell don't care about the cameras, they don't care about the prize. They're like here to like really get to know each other and find something. And I like that she wasn't trying to emphasize that because it's like I want us to have something like genuine and not like, outside of this really see what it is.
Yeah,
That's why I feel like they should win because they literally are the most genuine. They're both very much themselves, you know?
I agree. And she's just like
Yeah.
basically like, don't do it just because like that's part of the show. Like the
Right.
final
And everybody
step.
else is doing it. Yeah.
No, I'm like Kaylor, like Aaron asking Kaylor, I'm like, haven't y'all been boyfriend and girlfriend? Like, what are we doing? I'm like,
I think
y'all,
later he's like, oh, go ahead.
no, I was just, they really have to like define every step. And I'm like, what are we
Yeah.
doing? Like, I don't know.
No, because later he's like, it doesn't really feel any different. And I'm like, yeah, what did you think was gonna happen?
Because y'all have been together. Like, I can't.
Literally.
Oh God, this is where we get to Rob pulling Daniela for a chat.
Oh boy.
This was, it was wild on a lot, on both sides because
Yep.
he tells her he's been thinking a lot about them in the future and that he really likes her and cares about her, but feels like they're just in different places mentally and that he doesn't see it working long term. And then this is where she's like, oh, it breaks my heart a little bit, but I get it. And that like she had like a feeling, like she could pick up on
Mm-hmm.
like his vibe and energy.
Mm-hmm.
And she's basically like, ignorance is bliss. I wish he would have waited till after the show and we could have just enjoyed our time here. And I'm like, okay. And then she keeps saying, this feels like a breakup. And I'm like, it is a breakup.
You were a couple, so when you're not a couple anymore, that means that you broke up.
And even Rob's like, it is. Because my
He
thing,
did say that at one point. He was like, it is a breakup, girl.
and I'm like, look, I feel like Rob's reasonings, like, I get it. If you're just not into someone, you're not into someone. The whole, like, we're in different places mentally. Like, I'm like, okay. Like,
Literally, what does that mean? Like, are you calling her stupid?
right? I'm like, what are you trying to
He's like,
say?
I want to catch snakes. You want to catch hands. Like, we're in different
Which is different
places.
priorities. Um,
I'm trying to like be part of my family's traveling acting group.
I got a
And
photo shoot scheduled for August 1st where we're doing
uh,
cosplay of Meet Me in St. Louis, the Judy Garland
basically.
film. And she's like, oh, yeah, I love that movie. He's like, have you even seen it? And she's like, yeah, The Wizard of Oz. I was like, no.
I don't tell me if I'm reading into this or not, but I kind of felt like he was being a little manipulative.
No, he was.
Because he was like, he like speaks for her. He's like, this is after what you just said. She's like, yeah, I kind of wish you didn't tell me. And he was like, if I were you, I'd want to know. Almost like trying to plant the seed, like what I just did was good, like trying to make her like think that his actions are good by saying it. And she's like, no, I didn't want to know. And then,
Yeah,
and so I'm glad she clocked it. Like, girl, no, what did your gut tell you? You didn't like it. You didn't like it. Stop telling me I
right.
should like something because if I were you, I would like it. And
Yeah,
then he said, I wish I felt differently. And she's like, that doesn't make me feel better. He's like, I know it doesn't make you feel better. And it's like, again, you're trying
right.
to manipulate her, like, be like, I'm really sad. I'm really
Yeah.
sad, Daniela, that I had to make this choice. And I want you to feel bad for me so that doesn't this sound familiar?
Just let me think for a
Think,
second. Let me think for a second, please. Um, no, like
yeah.
literally it does. And even when because when she's like, oh, it breaks my heart a little bit, he's like, oh no, like, and it's like, well, what is she supposed to say?
Literally. Like Rob can hurt people's feelings, but doesn't want to. So he wants to kind of twist the situation in a way that makes him feel great about himself. Like,
Yeah.
this is really hard for me, and I want you to know how hard it is for me and feel bad for me. And
I
yeah,
hate that I have to do this to you. And it's
yeah. And
like,
it's like, that's kind of a cop out. You're doing it.
yeah,
It already hurts. This whole like mind tricks is stupid. And I'm glad that Daniela didn't clock it. And then I
yeah.
also feel like I'm glad you agree because I was like, is this a stretch? Do I hate Rob or is he manipulative? I think it was
No, he
manipulative.
is. Like he's crazy.
No,
Like,
he is.
he's
And then the
wild.
whole like, no, he is. And then the whole when she was like, I kind of wish you'd waited. I think she just didn't want to look stupid on TV.
No, because and we'll get to it. I think she's really like
Feeling
disappointed in her run
self-conscious.
on this Love Island, which I get. We'll get
Yeah.
into it later, but
Yeah.
I did feel bad because when she talks to us and she's like crying and she's just like, I just feel like I'm never enough for people. And I'm like, oh, Daniela. I don't know. I
I was
started to
like,
feel really bad for Daniela.
no, I did. But I was also just like, that's not it. And unfortunately, you're not gonna know until later. Like, trust
Right.
me, everybody in America hates Rob. When you leave, you're gonna feel great. You're gonna feel great
Exactly.
about yourself.
You'll be all right.
Um,
Um, but she walks away and then he's kind of being like weird. Like he's like, well, bye. And then he like, and she's like, it just waves. And then he talks to us and he's just like, I'm such a donut. I'm just so bad at Love Island. And I'm like, I'll say, you're literally the worst. No wonder you didn't make it out
literally,
of Casa last season.
honestly. And imagine, had he not fumbled the bag, the Persian goddess Leah herself, they would probably still be together.
If they got together this last week somehow,
Oh
they
yeah.
would win.
I
I
oh
1000%
damn.
mainly because the
Brandon.
show's so online. Can you hear me?
No, I can't. No, I'm
Oh, I
saying
thought we
like
were having
fuck,
Wi-Fi
Brandon.
issues. I was like,
No,
no,
I was
not
like,
the
no,
Wi-Fi
Brandon, you're
issues.
right. You're right.
We've had a lot of Wi-Fi issues in the past.
We
I just got a little
have.
PTSD. No, but like literally with like this all being so online and
Yep,
just like the vote, I'm like, because people love Leah and Rob.
they
So many
do.
people want them to get back together. Literally, we have a TikTok from the beginning of the season. I posted just a clip of Ariana on the very first After Sun this season, just talking
Hmm.
about how Leah and Rob, when they got together, like in the very first episode, what
Hmm.
like drew Leah to him, like very early on. That TikTok still gets hundreds of likes, like almost a day. It's at like over
Uh,
2 million views somehow.
oh
People
my God.
love Leah and Rob. And that was just a
It's
video of someone talking about Leah and Rob.
it's kind of crazy. Why do we do this? Why are we like this?
I don't know.
It's like they're not underdogs. They're clearly bad for each other, but I guess because we all know that they were great together, it's like, I
Yeah.
don't want it for Leah, but if she did it, I would completely understand.
Yeah, a part of me wants it to happen, but I'm also like, I want Leah to see how much love she has on the outside and how much
Yep.
we were so on her side so she
Yep.
could wake up and maybe feel less bad about Rob. You
Yeah,
know?
I think part of her feelings towards him are that she feels like bad after movie night. Like I would love for her to leave without him because imagine her leaving with him and seeing that we were all on her side and he did gaslight her. You'd
I
look like
know.
Kaylor at that point.
She would, but less annoying. So at
Less
least there's
annoying.
that.
Yeah, a little bit better.
Rob talks to Aaron and he says, "Oh, the conversation sucked, but it was the right thing to do."
Woo
Um,
woo woo.
right. And then Daniela tells
Mr.
Sierra,
Morality.
I know, like, shut up, Rob. I can't. Daniela talks to Sierra and she's like, "Oh, it sucks," and she likes him still. And then she said it felt again that it felt like a breakup. And I think her logic is because technically they weren't like together, like boyfriend,
Yeah.
girlfriend. She's like, it felt like a breakup, even though Loki were not together. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I guess I can get that, but I just want you to accept the fact that this was a breakup of some sort. Stop saying it felt like a breakup because it was a breakup. Just like, I don't know. But she cries and she says she feels a bit embarrassed and
Mm.
she tells us she needs to love herself more and she struggles with that. And I'm like, oh, Daniela.
I don't know where that came from.
I know, right? Because I feel like they never really show. Well, if you remember, like when we first were introduced to Daniela, we kind of got like a lot of deep stuff from her. Like she talked about like her mom dying and like she has like this
Yeah.
guardian angel now. And then
Yeah.
it was just like slowly but surely, we barely got like anything from her. And now all of a
Yeah.
sudden, in the last minute, we're getting all these like insecurities and stuff. So it's been an
Yeah.
odd journey for Daniela.
It has been. And maybe she's saying that because she feels like her pursuing Rob was not prioritizing herself and not loving herself.
Yeah,
Or maybe she's saying that she just needs to be comfortable being alone and not wanting to be with a person. I don't know. Could have a lot of meanings.
it
I wish
could.
they let her explain it.
We'll stay tuned for whatever podcast she does
Oh yeah.
after the fact,
Yeah.
which Liv's been on a lot of podcasts and people are letting her
How
know
has it
about
been?
Aaron and all that. So I think she's becoming very anti-Aaron.
What about
And
Rob?
Rob, not too much stuff. I saw someone, I think it was Nick Vile. He
Hmm.
asked, like, oh, were you and Rob gonna be a thing? And then she was just like, oh no, it was just like flirting or whatever.
But did anybody like expose how he like gaslit Leah and stuff to her?
Not that I remember. They may have
Mm.
mentioned it, but a lot of the themes I've seen with Liv's questions is they always ask about her fight with Leah and like the backseat thing.
Mm.
But she did reveal that in that tweet challenge, they all knew that the mean tweet was about Liv, but Liv was like already up there, I guess. And I guess that makes sense because Leah had already gotten a mean one. So they like based off it, I guess they thought it was going to be Liv or something. But Leah volunteered herself to like go and sit with Liv so she wouldn't be alone.
Oh, that's actually
Oh,
really sweet.
right? I'm like, that it's so nice. And I'm like, so and she was basically like, we're very much alike and we're sisters. So we like fight, but like we're good. And I'm like, period.
I love it. I love it.
Uh,
Okay.
but Miguel and Leah chat about when they thought they would have kids. And because I guess they're like, I thought it would be when I'm 25, and I'm 25 now, and
Yeah.
I don't want any.
Yeah.
But they're happy about where they are and they feel at peace with each other. And I like them. They're sweet. A lot of people I hear have said, like, I don't think they'll last outside. But in this moment, I like it.
I think we read Miguel wrong.
We
Miguel
did.
is the onion, as we confirmed last episode.
Miguel.
Miguel, excuse me. Miguel is the onion. But I actually feel like he's deeper than he seems.
I
I mean,
agree.
you running to get your bags for Casa was
That was a
not
lot. I was like, okay.
but I think he was probably just being goofy and joking. But I think he actually like, did, has like goals of like wanting to get married and stuff. And I feel like he could be pretty committed. I think I don't know if it'll be reciprocated on Leah. I think Miguel is ready. I don't know if Leah is ready.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm not sure if either's right. I don't know. It's hard because I do think we definitely got Miguel wrong, but I just wonder. I'm like,
Yeah.
where does Miguel live? I forget. Because
Oh
does he
yeah.
live in like the UK?
He's not in America.
Because she's in Calabasas, so I'm like, it would just be long distance.
Yeah.
Because I maybe he'll
Yeah.
move to California. I don't know. I'm interested to see. I could see though if they don't last outside the villa, I feel like they would be friends, which is fine
Oh,
with me.
definitely. Yeah, I feel like there would be two people who definitely admire someone that like each other. They wouldn't,
Yeah,
I don't think they would like break a friendship or like get online and start talking shit about each other.
I agree. They're very
Miguel,
easygoing.
he's from London, England.
London.
Oh, that's where Kane is from.
Oh gosh, maybe they'll hang out.
I think.
Aaron gets a text and it's time for the heart rate challenge, which I was
Woo!
interested in what this would be like, and it was quite a lot. Um, but they get ready
To
for
put it
it.
short,
To put it short,
damn.
damn. But really, I'm like, y'all are very comfortable with each other, like making
Literally,
out with
I'm
each
like,
other's people and like
oh my
everyone. It
gosh.
was a lot, but so it's the Hearts on Fire challenge. And the guys go first, so the girls are sitting around the fire pit, and Kenny's up, and he's a quarterback.
Hmm.
And he was funny. He was like, I'm doing my Shakira impression. These hips aren't lying. And then he had a good, he was doing a lot. He was doing good. He
No,
had
he
a
did.
moment
I
with
was
Janae that I
like,
was like,
mm-hmm.
ooh. And then
Yeah.
Leah goes, and I think this is from this TikTok I saw too. She was like, I need money to give him moisturizing. And I'm like, I cannot. I love you, Leah.
She's
Uh,
funny.
Rob is next, and he's a cowboy. Careful, ladies.
Hmm.
There's a snake in my pants. I'm like, Rob. And he was going in. He
uh
was like picking people up. I think he flipped Serena. He did something with Serena that I was like not
I don't
expecting.
remember what he did to Serena, but he did pick up Daniela. Daniela
Mm.
is strong. I don't know what she's been doing,
She
but
is.
she got lifted and it was like rehearsed. Basically, she knew
She
what
was like,
to.
I've been waiting for this.
Her legs were like perfectly straight. Like it
Well, she
wasn't like
likes
she was
being
being tossed
lifted.
around.
Remember when they were admiring
Legs being tossed.
Harrison? Nicole was like, he looks
Uh-huh.
like somebody who could lift you. And she's like, oh my God, don't tell me that. And I was like, I think that's her thing. But
Yeah,
Rob was funny. He had
he
like a lot
was.
of funny things he was saying. He like went to Leah and
Yeah,
he was like, you miss me. And I'm like, I think she does.
she
Um,
does actually.
Nerdy Cordell is next. And
Why
this
did they make
was
Cordell a nerd?
it was amazing though. I'm a
It,
problem
he
solver
ate.
and I'm here to solve all your problems. Did you ever watch Zoe 101?
Yeah.
Remember the Q-tip girl? Cotton swabs. There was a girl who loved cotton swabs.
Why does that sound so familiar? I was
I
about to say
forget.
Quinn, the nerdy girl, but no,
No,
not
it was some
her.
other girl with long brown hair. I forget her name, but she loved
That's funny.
cotton swabs. He kind of sounded like that, but he picks Serena up, puts her on the ground, and he's just being funny with like the lisp, and everyone's like laughing and like having the
Literally.
best time. And when he dry humps Janae, he goes, "Class is in session," and I'm like, I have to go, and everyone's just dead.
And he's
Uh,
strong because they were like, don't drop her. And he did not.
he
He did
didn't.
not.
He's small, but he's mighty.
Hmm.
Um, Gladiator Harrison,
I
low
guess he was
key,
supposed to be Thor
yeah, I didn't
or a
like.
gladiator.
He wasn't good.
Boo.
He had no swag, and Janae even was like, "It's not giving," and I'm like, "It wasn't."
I was like, Harrison just came over to like bump into people's bodies for a second.
Right?
Like, he doesn't have rhythm.
Exactly. And then the next person, Angel Aaron. Uh, he like
An
licks Leah's
angel?
leg. I feel like only Kaylor enjoyed it, to be honest. Everyone else was like, anyways.
Yeah.
What was that? I was listening to She's Speaking with Emily Hanks, and she's like, Aaron came out in like a romper. And I'm like, he was kind of wearing a romper.
And like a dress. He was like kind of wearing a dress, actually.
I thought at first it was like a toga. I'm like,
No, I
okay.
think it was supposed to be like a long kind of thing, but it went to his like thighs. But he
Yeah.
was rehearsing with Kendall, and I guess rehearsals went well.
Oh, he was. People were clipping that on TikTok and Twitter. And they were like,
And
Aaron,
Kendall's
you're not beating
laughing, and
the
I'm like,
allegations. I'm like,
Aaron,
he
you're not
really
doing yourself
isn't.
any favors.
Uh, and then next is Colonel Kendall, and he like makes his pecs bounce. And then
Hmm.
Janae impersonates it. She's like, who am I? Who am I? I'm Kendall. I'm like,
I was
I
like,
love Janae.
Janae, first off, how can you do that? Like
I know,
physically,
right?
how can you do that?
I can't even like imagine how to do that. And he does like just weird like grunting the whole time. Yeah.
I'm like,
It was
yo,
Leah was like
Kendall.
uncomfortable and I'm like, yeah, like this is weird. And he's just like
There was a
watching him with
point.
Nicole like
No, for real. No, she was. I was gonna say that. Like, I see her face and she's just like looking at him like just shocked, like what's happening, but more like concerned than like, oh my gosh.
yeah.
It was like, oh my gosh.
It's like Kendall, what are you because he also had like a very odd serious look on his face. So
Hmm.
it was just terrible. But last but not least for the guys was firefighter Miguel. And he just went full
Miguel,
Magic Mike.
bro.
And like he like flipped Serena like upside down.
Again,
And
did
he
y'all
like
practice this? Because no one could just get me out of my chair to flip me upside down. Like
Daniela
I
had a
would
moment
fall, I would
too.
be scared.
He was like throwing
Yeah.
Daniela up like and she was just like woo.
He was like bouncing her on his arms. We know Miguel is strong, but damn. And then Nicole was like, how does he know how to do this? And I was like, you're asking the right questions, Nicole, because literally, how?
That's a good exactly. And then when he touches the fire and then grabs Leah by the neck, I was like,
What the hell? And I was like, did he? I rewinded. I was like, he actually put his hand in there.
I guess that fire's like safe, or maybe you can do that
Man,
if you only do it I don't know.
how many props did they have?
They had a lot of props. They had
I'm like, how
costumes,
did he do
props.
that? But no, he ate. Miguel went in.
He did. I would say he was probably the best of the him and Cordell were my favorites.
Yeah, they
They
did the
were the
best out of
best
the
of the
guys.
guys. Then now the girls are up. First it's cheerleader Kaylor. And she does a lot of
Taylor.
twerking. It was
She
cute.
does.
You
It
know,
does.
she did
It
her
was
thing.
cute. I mean, like, I don't she just her ass was just out
It
and she's
was.
got a very nice butt. So I'm just like, girl, you gotta use the tools you have. And she sure did.
Right. I think Kenny goes, "What are they feeding the Pennsylvanians?" I'm like, "What?"
And then she did
uh,
a cartwheel on her way out. I was like, oh my gosh, Kaylor, wow.
I'm like, "Were you a cheerleader too?" Like an actual
Yeah.
one in like real life. But next is our girl Serena, cowgirl
Whew.
Serena. This cowgirl loves reverse. And she just ate. She was doing all types of flips and tricks. She was doing the splits on Cordell's face. I was
I
like,
did
oh
not
my
see that coming.
gosh.
It's so funny because while it was happening, all the guys were like, oh, and you just see their reactions. And I was like, are they not going to show us? And then they showed us, and I was like, damn, that's why they took a minute to show
They
us.
did. Oh my God. Next, though,
Serena,
my favorite of everyone, Nurse Leah. Everything she
Leah.
did, she's like, does somebody need a doctor? Goes to Kenny, puts her stethoscope on his area, and it's like, oh, it's pumping. She takes Rob's temperature. She's like, I think someone still has the hots for me. She squirts a syringe with some liquid in Kendall's mouth and goes, I'm a squirter. And they all just like die. They were having the
Oh my
best time.
gosh. No, she went in. She went in. I was like, if I was Rob, I would not want that stethoscope in my mouth, but he was a good sport about it.
He was. And he even says, he was like, that was my favorite because it was very clever. And I'm like, I'm sure that's why it was your favorite,
He's like, that was
Rob.
my favorite. It was really good. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, whatever.
Uh,
What
Ringmaster Daniella goes, she kind of
is
goes
a
in on
ringmaster?
Rob. I think like a circus.
Okay.
Like, maybe it's the people with like the lion or the tiger and they
Okay.
jump through the hoops.
She had a
Yes,
whip, right?
maybe. I think she did. She had
Okay.
something. I don't remember too much from hers, but she does like kind of go in on Rob, which is
Yeah, at
like,
one point all the boys ran away while she was doing something to Kendall. I can't remember what she was
I
doing, but
think
all
she
the
made
boys were
out
being
with
annoying.
Cordell.
She did kiss Cordell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, who is this? Daniela, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she kissed Cordell, and then Aaron was like, "Do not kiss me. Do not
Oh,
kiss me."
yes.
And I was like, "You're learning.
Look at
Wow."
you, but only you're saying that because Kaylor's watching, and if she wasn't watching, you probably would have been okay with it.
Yeah. I
Um,
wonder why she decided to kiss people. No, but none of the other girls did that. None of the boys did that. They only kissed like the person they were coupled with. So I was like, Daniela,
yeah, I don't know.
kissing people?
She's like, I'm single. And we're like, okay.
Or
Okay.
she's like, I don't have any other tricks. I'll-
It's like, fair
I
enough.
can't I can't do splits and cartwheels and shit, so I'm gonna kiss
Right.
you.
I'm not Serena. I'm sorry. uh, Firefighter Sierra, she does okay. Kind of
Yeah.
basic. I don't know. And then like
Boo.
race driver Nicole. She was kind of more tame than I thought she would be.
She's so monotone. She's like, I'm fast and furious.
Look at me go. I felt like she was
Fast and
more like
furious.
wild and when she first was a bombshell, because remember when they had to do like the lingerie?
Oh yeah.
And like she
Oh,
made
and
out with
kiss people while they
Kendall.
were handcuffed. I think
Yes.
it was just the whole suspense and not knowing her and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was interesting.
It was, but they saved the best for last because
Whoop.
Janae comes in as
Mm-hmm.
a cat and she just fucking pops off. She gets Kenny on the ground. She
Mm-hmm.
licks him up and down.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes, "Watch this." And then she just goes and like beautifully twerks on everyone. And it's just like
Mm-hmm.
making him watch. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just like art. And then she goes to him and does the splits on his face. And I'm just like, this was a performance.
Literally. She
She
came
like
to work. She left nothing behind.
literally nothing. She did amazing. But she actually wasn't the last one because now Kassy enters.
Kassy
And
from last
she's
season. Oh my gosh.
Kassy from last season. I didn't watch last season. But cool. She's the devil. And I wrote she has an interesting walk.
Oh, I didn't even peep. Was it just look funny looking?
Just very like very like I'm walking through the field. I was like, all right. There's Kassy. And then she starts with Kenny, and Janae is just yelling, "Relax, Kenny. Relax."
Yeah,
And I'm
it was
like,
kind
ooh,
of rough.
it was, but
Well, Kenny recognized her because at first Rob is just like dumbfounded.
mm,
Aaron and Kenny both recognize her and like freaking out. Kenny looked really shocked, so I don't know if he like maybe had a crush on her while she was on the show. But yeah, Kenny
maybe
was kind of like dumbfounded.
he was, and she like licks Cordell's finger at one point or sucks it, and if you look, he like wipes it off, and I'm
I
like, that was kind of funny.
saw that.
Um, but I don't know, it was weird because it was just like it kind of showed the girls looking annoyed, but then they like immediately cheered for her. So it was like,
Yeah,
how much of it was like, editors? They're like, show them looking
right.
distressed. And it's like,
I mean,
but
I
are
guess
they?
I have to be a little worried when a bombshell walks in, so I get it.
Right. But then she's done, and Mara arrives.
Mara.
Mara Higgins, the host of the After Sun. And she reveals the results. Well, kind of. She starts to, and then randomly it's the voiceover guy. And I'm
They
like,
must
this
have
is
had some
weird.
kind of technical issue because I was like, why is this happening?
Right? They reveal that Rob's heart was raised the most by Leah. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron's was by Kaylor. Cordell's was by Serena. Kenny and Harrison's were by Kaylor. And then
Mm-hmm.
Kendall's was by Nicole. And Miguel's was
Mm-hmm.
by Kassy. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, how was no one's raised by Janae?
Literally, I was like, there must be something wrong here. You're saying Kenny liked, wait, who did Kenny get?
Kaylor.
Yeah, there's no way Kenny liked Kaylor more than Janae. That
Janae.
doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. Maybe it was like she was the first one, so it was like that and running off the adrenaline of the guys going.
Yeah.
I don't
I mean,
know.
this is I'm glad nobody really read into the results because this there's a lot of factors.
There
People are
is.
laughing, people are surprised, people are shocked. Like there's so many, it's not just like, "Ooh, I'm attracted and my heart rate is up," you know?
Right. And someone pointed out that, when Kassy came and they like see a new bombshell, naturally their hearts are gonna probably like race a little bit because they're like, what is happening?
Yeah, so when Miguel like had his the highest for her, I was like, he even was like, "But I was just surprised."
Right. And I'm like, I actually believe you, Miguel.
I believe you.
And then so they reveal the girls. Daniella's was raised the most by Miguel, Kaylor
Mm-hmm.
by Aaron, and
Mm-hmm.
Serena by Cordell. But also
Mm-hmm.
Sierra, Leah, and Nicole's were raised by Cordell the most, which it tracks because
Yeah.
they were laughing.
I think they were just laughing so much.
And then Janae's was by Kenny,
Kenny.
which I love. But the boys end up winning.
Hmm.
Don't know what the prize is. I guess it's just to say you won.
Yep.
That's
Now I get
cool.
shit on Love Island.
Right. But now Mara reveals there was a vote, and America was voting for their favorite couple. In the top four, are going to be safe, and then the bottom three are vulnerable. So the top four are Janae and Kenny, Nicole and Kendall, Leah and Miguel, Serena and Cordell, and I think these will be the top four come finale.
Yep.
So the bottom three, Rob and Daniela, Sierra and Harrison, Aaron and Kaylor. Now, I thought
Mm-hmm.
it was a little unfair because I just feel like Sierra and Harrison just started, like right
Literally,
before the vote.
Brandon, we voted the night that Harrison appeared. And
Yeah.
no, we
That he
voted the
took
night that
him
Harrison,
from Kane.
yes. And I'm like, so we really haven't gotten to know Harrison at all. And this was like 3 episodes ago.
Yeah.
So
So
this episode, that happened 3 episodes ago, and now you're revealing the vote to them. Like, I know that like they're further along than we are in real life, in real time. But yeah, they didn't give Harrison a chance at all. And I'm like, then why did you guys even bring him on the show?
I guess just to have extra people there at this point.
I don't know. It
Because,
didn't make any sense.
yeah. And the episode ended on a cliffhanger because Mara reveals that the safe islanders have to save one couple. And so
Mm-hmm.
we're thinking, oh my God, that means two couples are going to go home.
Mm-hmm.
Which I will say, so we go into episode 32, and the Islanders, they have to chat about what couple to save because they have to save the most compatible. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
obviously it's going to be Kaylor and Aaron.
Yeah, like what's
Like
there to talk about?
that part, I'm like literally, and they kept just saying, like, this is fucked up. This is so fucked up. Oh my gosh,
No,
this is
it
fucked
is
up.
because I guess they feel bad for Rob. I mean, I
Yeah.
feel that they probably feel like they owe Rob something, but like
Leah was
sucks to send him home.
sobbing because of Rob.
Leah's eyes welled immediately. I was like, "Oh my gosh, Leah, wait. Leah, we can see you.
I
Leah,
know.
stop. We
I
can
was like,
see you.
oh,
Stop.
poor
Do not
Leah.
make it so obvious." Meanwhile,
I
Miguel
know.
doesn't even like get a hint at anything. He's like, "Yeah, man, we gotta make a decision. It's
This is
hard."
crazy. Um, but Miguel reveals like he's the one to stand up and say it, and they say they chose to save Kaylor and Aaron, and that's where Aaron and Rob have the most intense hug. That's so annoying, but don't
He like
worry,
kissed his neck and cheek.
right? And it only gets more annoying from here because they reveal that Kassy actually can save either Harrison and Rob so she can
Mm-hmm.
be in a couple. And
Mm-hmm.
both were on last season, but she obviously chooses Rob because they want Rob to stay. And Aaron is so annoyingly excited. He's like jumping up and down. He's like screaming. I'm like, that's low-key rude to the
Literally.
people who are leaving.
Literally, he's like, "Oh my gosh, Rob gets to stay," and he
I'm just
like
so excited
sits
about
up,
Rob.
and I'm just like, "Bro, you're so annoying." Also, this whole time, Rob is just like saying stuff. He's like, "I'll see you guys later," blah blah blah. He's smiling and he's just chilling, and I'm like, "Did production tell you you weren't gonna leave, or are you just like playing it up?" Like you're so he never looks worried. He's always on the bottom and never looks worried.
He doesn't.
Meanwhile, Kendall has PTSD for no reason. No
I know,
reason.
right? But Kendall's been through the most on the show. Um,
Apparently.
so Daniela and Harrison and Sierra have to go. Rob and Daniela
Mhm.
chat, and she just says she feels like she embarrassed the fuck out of herself in here. And he's like, "No, you didn't." And I actually agree with Rob. I think Rob and Aaron embarrassed Daniela more than anyone.
Brandon, why are we always in sync? Because
We
I was
are.
like, no, you didn't embarrass yourself. They embarrassed you, honey. Those two boys embarrassed you.
Also, I feel like in the villa, which I give the villa a pass kind of with a lot of the people who don't know because they just don't know they didn't see it. But I see this even online where they're like Daniela went with Rob so she could stay on the show and like Aaron didn't want her. And I'm like, are we forgetting? And because even Rob's like, oh, she said it was always me, and I was always in the back of her mind by seeing those videos of you. You guys had a conversation where
Yeah.
Aaron was like, I don't think I can be with Daniela anymore. I want to be with Kaylor, but you should talk to her and you should do this. He then went
Yeah.
and broke up with Daniela. And then
Yep.
Rob approached Daniela to talk about getting together. So Daniela was like, sure. Like, I
Right.
liked you, I got, yeah.
Right. She can't get to the villa without him. So
Yeah.
she so like she like obviously felt like he liked her. They did get to know each other. He was literally when they she first walked in, he was like, I'm attracted to Daniella, you know? So
Yeah.
it's like they're I don't know, they're being stupid about it. Aaron played you because he knew he loved Kaylor and did all that stuff with you anyway. Then Rob played you because he brought you back to the villa just to tell you that he didn't like you.
You
Like
know
they
what this
both wasted
is?
your time, sis, and your energy.
Have you seen on the internet how people compare Rob and Aaron to the Toms?
Oh, I haven't, but it makes sense.
Literally, Aaron is Sandoval,
Mm-hmm.
Rob is Schwartz,
Mm-hmm.
Daniella's Rachel. Aaron and Daniella really have the
Mm-hmm.
connection, but because it'll look bad to Kaylor, Ariana, they're like, you should be with her. Pretend you like her, Rob, and kiss her at Sheena's
Mm-hmm.
wedding and do this and bring her back to the
Damn.
villa.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, yeah. And they pretend to have this connection only for it obviously to be nothing. Oh my
That's
gosh.
so bad. And
It's
Aaron will be
terrible.
like, you said I was grooming, which implies pedophilia.
Fucking Sandoval. I can't with him.
He'll be like, you said I was in love bombing, which implies pedophilia. They're stupid. Both of them are dumb.
They're dumb.
And then Leah, did you see what Leah said after this?
No.
She
Maybe?
said she
What?
feels responsible for Rob having a bad time. Um,
Oh, yeah, she did because she feels bad. I guess, I don't know why. I guess she still
I
thinks she's the villain because of movie night.
They literally gaslit Leah into believing that she was wrong. She's
Mm-hmm.
been hanging on to it. She has a guilty conscience because even when she was apologizing to Rob was like, "Don't beat yourself up. I'm fine.
Even
I'm
Rob
just
was
here
like, it's not
acting."
that, like, it's fine.
No, I think she really feels like she like had it like because she was like Rob's had such a hard time in here, and I feel like it's low key my fault. Like maybe had she not interfered, Andrea would still be around. But I was like, there was no way you guys were gonna pick
Janae or
Andre Janae
Nicole.
overall. Right.
Thank God
Like y'all
Andrea
weren't gonna
left.
do
She
that.
sucked. She was boring and her TikToks are lame. Sorry. And you
Yeah.
can't
And
sing.
then and then they would be saying the same thing about Kendall. Like, damn, we ruined Kendall's experience. Like, so
Yeah.
send Janae home? Y'all wouldn't have done that. You know, it's so silly. I cannot wait for Leah to come outside just so I could be like, girl, you were not responsible. He was terrible to you.
Ariana was even saying on Chicks in the Office, she's like, I want to tell Leah, you don't have to apologize anymore. Like, you don't need to at all.
Yeah. You didn't
And
need to
it's like,
apologize at all. You did nothing wrong. I mean, you were talking a lot of shit, but like, I feel that was okay. I didn't see anything wrong with that. I talk shit
he
about
just
people
did
when
you
they're mean to
dirty.
me.
Exactly. Like, come on now.
Hmm.
But Leah kind of gives Miguel shit for his heart racing the most for Kassy, and it was kind of funny. But it
Yeah.
was like she wasn't really mad. Kassy and
Yeah.
Rob chat, and she was like, "Oh, I felt really awkward dancing on the men because I just felt like it was disrespecting a couple." She talk like I kind of like listening to her talk, but it's kind of weird.
You're funny. You
Um,
clock everything, Brandon. Nothing gets by Brandon.
it won't.
She
Um,
sounded exactly how you just repeated.
it's very just like it's almost Joe like, but not as annoying. Joe from Vanderpump.
I don't see that. I don't see that.
It's like a cool Joe. Like a little like goofy, but like not like ugh. But Rob says he's glad he ended things with Daniela before all this. And then they just keep bringing it back to like, why do you think we didn't connect last season? And I'm just like, I feel like this part's forced and it's like production being like, talk about how you guys talked once last season.
Literally.
I was like,
And then she
okay.
was like, "Well, why didn't you talk to me when we left?" And he was like, "But you were with Leo." And she was like, "But then we broke up." And he's like, "I should have." And I was like,
Like,
should you
should you?
have?"
Right? I'm like, okay.
Me personally, if you're with somebody else and y'all break up, that doesn't mean I just jump back in. You didn't pick me. I was in casa. Like,
You talked once. Like, what are we doing? Like, why didn't you say anything to me after? And it's like, why would he? What?
literally, why didn't you say anything to him,
I know. It's
Kassy?
just
You're
right.
acting. This is so stupid.
It is. Oh my God. Kaylor and Aaron chat. They talk about why they're in the bottom. And Aaron correctly is like, I think it's because of me and what I did in Gaza and all that. And I'm like, yes, at least there's a little
Yeah.
self-awareness there. But Kaylor's like, I don't know. I'm like, Kaylor, wake up.
I mean, I think she's taking some responsibility. She's like, I am also making stupid choices by picking you and taking
Fair.
you back,
But
you
also
know?
wake up and realize, why did you make stupid choices? Because he did. Why do people think your choices are stupid?
Because he
Let's go.
played in your face.
Let's go to the root.
Let's Kaylor, where's the psychology, Kaylor?
Yes.
Psychology degree. Let's use it,
Well, my
girl.
thing is she's kind of with it because like he even
Yeah.
like talks about Rob more and she's like, you always talk about Rob. Like you're always so excited about Rob. And he's like, I was just really excited he was here. And I'm like,
So if Kaylor and Aaron aren't together by September 1st, by September 30th, we will at least see Rob and Aaron spending intimate time together. They're gonna go on a trip. They're gonna go wherever they said they were gonna go, Dubai, whatever. They're gonna
Vietnam.
be together.
They're gonna do something. I think they were supposed to go with Connor too, which
Yeah.
wild.
Oh yeah, we'll see him again.
Uh
But even Serena, like Kaylor was like, I don't think people, or this is later. I'm ahead
no,
of
I
myself.
that's
Go ahead.
actually my next note. When she
Okay,
cries
okay.
to her and was just like, I just think people hate me and think I'm
Yeah.
stupid. And it's like,
And
well,
Serena's like, they hate me too. It's okay. And I was like, but
I was
we
like, Serena, we
don't.
don't.
You know, like
I was
she,
like, Serena, just wait. We love you.
we love you. Kaylor, people kind of hate you, but like, it's very
It's more
in
we
an
just want to
endearing,
shake
like,
you.
yeah, it's like a love hate kind of way.
Yes. Fuck. Um, the
That
next
thing you sent me online,
oh
Brandon.
Drunk Drawn. Everyone follow Drunk Drawn on Instagram. They usually do a lot with like housewives where they do like these exaggerated like portraits and like artwork of people. And they did one of
Yeah.
Kaylor crying saying fuck. And it's really good.
It's
Uh
so bad.
they
Oh,
capture the
before
essence.
no, it's y'all gotta go look at. I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, I'd be mortified if this was me, but also I think it's really funny because they capture her
Right.
her lips, everything.
They got it all.
But I don't know if you peeped earlier, but Daniela like says something kind of on her way out, or like once she realizes how the vote it went, and she was like, I feel so bad because like Aaron is such a great guy. And I was like, or she was like, no hard
Oh
feelings because
yeah,
Aaron
she
is such a great guy.
apologized to like Aaron and Kaylor when she was like standing up.
Yes, she was saying, I feel bad because
Yes.
Aaron is such a great guy. And I was like, girl, they
They were the
played
wrong
you.
ones because she feels bad about the Casa and that they were in the bottom, I think, because of that. And I'm like, no, girl, like it's not you. It's all because they could have
Oh,
redeemed themselves after Casa. Had
oh
he been
yeah.
honest and
It would have
went the
been way
Cordell
better.
route, could have been good. But he didn't.
Cordell is still in the top and he had a time in Casa.
Cordell and
Like,
Serena low-key about to win.
literally, let's put the pieces together. This has nothing to, y'all saw this man show his ass,
Hmm.
carrying on, going to some abandoned part of the villa to be with his thoughts because he was so upset that he was being held responsible for something he did. It's crazy. And it's
It
just
is.
sad. Like, I really feel like a lot of times women blame themselves for the actions of manipulative people because they just can't see that they're being played. She's
Yeah.
like, if all of these things around me are true, I must be the bad person. And it's like, nah, fam, there's so many other
No.
things that you don't see.
Daniella, I think Daniella has her flaws, but overall, I think she's a sweet girl. And I felt like she was done like very dirty by
I
Rob and
agree.
Aaron. So I'm just
I
like,
agree. I think
I
she
feel
was just
bad.
trying to, like, shoot her shot like everybody else. And they
Loki, I
really
want them
laid
to
it
bring
on
her back
thick.
next season.
Yeah.
I mean, she's
Like
not the
even
most dynamic, but hey.
maybe
Neither was
she is and
Rob.
we just didn't get to see or maybe
Right.
we just didn't get to see it. But like I think back to like when he was having that one-on-one with her in Casa and he was like, this is more than a test, blah blah blah. Like literally telling her sweet nothings, like
Yeah.
girl, you're not wrong for falling for it. I would have fell for it too. Shit. He gave that girl a seashell. And now they're in a relationship.
And green pasta.
It looked good though. I was like, fuck, I'm hungry.
I was
So,
like, maybe.
Aaron.
Aaron,
Okay.
Aaron. Uh,
Anyway.
the next day, Aaron and Rob chat, and Aaron feels good about staying and tells Rob that Leah was crying when she thought Rob was leaving. And Rob kind of brushes it off, but he's just like, I mean, I would have been sad to see her go too. And I'm like, okay. Um, Janae
Not
tells
y'all on
Leah,
the same page.
I know, right? Janae tells Leah and Serena she wants Leah to get back with Rob. And Leah's like, I don't know. And she's like, she wanted Rob to still be here, but really likes Miguel. And she would
Yeah.
pick Miguel over Rob. And Serena and Janae don't believe her. I
Yeah.
kind of don't either. Like, I think she
I
likes
believe
Miguel, but
her.
I think if she had an option, like Rob or Miguel, she would
I
pick
think
Rob.
Leah, I want to believe that Leah has common sense enough to know that this guy did play in her face. You
I know,
know,
but
it's
she's
like
toxic.
she is, but she said no. And when they were both
She
smiling
did.
at Giddy, she still held on to her no. She's like, no, I'd pick Miguel. Because I think at the end of the day, she knows that Miguel really does like her and didn't have to think twice about it. Whereas Rob had to date 7 people to come back to you. Pass,
This is
pass,
true.
pass.
You're right.
Leah's smart. Our Persian queen, who's a nurse, who's rich, and wears
From
designer clothes.
Calabasas. She's got
She's
pigs.
smart.
My
She
queen.
does have pigs.
Uh, Kendall tells Cordell that randomly Nicole told him last night that he is everything to her. And he thinks he's falling in love with her.
Yay. I mean, I did
Great.
hear her say that to him, and I was like, everything. I thought he was saying it to her. I didn't realize she said it to him. They
I
really
didn't
like
even
each
clock
other.
it. They do. It's just like, okay. But
Oh,
Cordell
Brandon.
says he feels the same. What?
Oh, that Serena's everything to him?
Yeah, that he's falling in love.
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
see that. I see that. I'm not surprised Cordell agreed. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry.
Oh
Harkening
no.
back to Rob's conversation
Harkening
with
back.
harkening back, moving back, jumping back, moving forward. To Rob's conversation with Aaron. Did you peep how he said that the common dominant
Oh.
words are hard today, y'all. I'm so sleep deprived. It's like bad.
Oh
Like I
no.
don't know if you've noticed that I've been like fumbling over my words. I called Janae Serena at one point. I'm tired. It's okay. Uh, Rob said that the common denominator is him.
Oh yeah.
Did you peep that? And I was like, yeah, you're right.
Right. And he does say he thinks maybe it's when he talks to Kassy.
No,
Oh
it's
yeah.
this time when he talks about Leah,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, he
because he
does
was
it.
like,
Oh no, no, you go.
no, he just like acknowledges that like Leah, he should have told Leah earlier on.
Oh yeah. But does he say that to Aaron? Does he say it to Kassy?
I see that he was no, because this was when Leah and them were talking together, and then Aaron and him were talking together. I actually don't know. I don't know who he was talking to. Maybe it was Kassy.
I think it was. Only because I have Robin Cassie next. And I remember he said it to Cassie.
Okay, okay.
Because what he said was he like knew it started with the Leah and Andrea thing. And he was like, I
Mm-hmm.
wish I could have told her the flip, but I just didn't know how to,
He's
or
stupid.
something like that. And it's like, exactly, like you're dumb. um, but Cordell does note that Rob is smiling a lot with Cassie. And he kind of was more than usual, probably because she's like familiar. Um,
Yeah.
I did find this part funny because he's like, "What do you do?" And she's like right now, I'm like sitting here. He's like, "No, for work." And she's like, "Oh, I do real estate with my mom, and it's like interior design." And then he's like, what was it? He said something. She was like, "Oh, do you have an apartment?" And like, did is it furnished? Is it decorated?
And he's like, I have a house and House. I have a house.
And she's like,
And
"Did a
yes,
girl
it's
help you
decorated.
decorate it?"
He's
And he's
like,
like, "My
yeah, my
mom."
mom.
And it's like, "Okay."
He's like, yeah, shortly he will tell you about his traveling acting troupe that he's a part of.
I know, right? Their family show.
Hmm.
Um, Kaylor tells Erin she's stressed about being in the bottom and she's like questioning things and she's worried
Hmm.
about them in the outside world. And I'm like, I feel like Kaylor all season questions things, but does nothing differently. And I
Literally.
get it
Her
because they're
gut
in
is
like a
telling her.
bubble, but
Hmm. No,
mm.
her gut is literally telling her what it is. And she's like, I feel very strongly about this. But Aaron, let's go make out. Let's go
But
take a shower. I saw them in the shower in one of these
they
episodes. I'm
were,
like, y'all are crazy.
Erin, I just can't be mad at you. Aw.
Can't stay mad. This seashell's so cute. And then
It's
he
like,
like first he calls her his wife, and then later he's like, "Well, I don't cheat, so like there's nothing to worry about." And it's like, well, the way history is set up is that I could not believe that to be true.
right. And you're not very honest. So.
Yep.
Kassy and Kaylor chat, and Kassy real talks her, and she's like, "Look, you gotta. If he really cared, he would have moved slower in Katsa, and like, you accept the love you think you deserve. Like, you gotta look out for yourself." Because she went through the same thing last season where Leo slept with a girl in Katsa, and then she was like,
Hmm.
"When we went to the Hideaway, we like did stuff, and like, I felt bad afterwards because I felt like I was rewarding him for being bad."
Yeah.
And she's basically like, you gotta like think of yourself, girl. Like Aaron sucks. And I'm like,
And Kaylor's like,
period.
not you telling me all the things I'm supposed to be like listening to. I'm not talking to Cassie again.
I don't think I should talk to Kassy again.
Like Cassie gives her some solid ass advice because Cassie left with Leo and it didn't work. So it's like,
Right.
girl, you gotta believe the signs. Even the other girl, what was her name?
From where?
I guess it doesn't matter. The
Nope.
other girl, there was a guy named Keenan who was very physical with someone in Casa. He
Oh.
got kicked off, and when he got kicked off, she left with him. I can't remember her name though.
Oh, interesting.
This was the same season as Cassie's season, last season, season 5.
Was
And
it
they both tried to
KK?
KK, yes. KK left with Keenan and it
Damn.
didn't work in the real life either. And so she like was on I saw on social media she was saying she regretted picking him because she literally gave up her whole Love Island experience to leave with him.
Yeah. She was on an After Sun. She was cool. Um,
KK was?
yeah, she was on the After Sun with Johnny Bananas. That one and
Oh, why doesn't she stand out in my head?
I don't know. That's a question you gotta ask yourself,
Well,
Magdala.
I think this story I just told you is what she said. Like we
Is
went
it?
out, we stayed together for a while, and then we and it didn't work. And I wish I would have, would have.
Yeah. I just didn't know she left the villa like early with him.
No, she did because he got kicked off. He got voted out basically by America. America was like, we hate him the most, and she was like,
Damn.
all right, guys, bye. I gotta leave with my man.
I'm like, no, listen to America.
And on his way out, he's like, I'm gonna take care of her. I promise. Yeah, no more mistakes. I learned my lesson. I learned
Break up months later. Um,
literally.
but Cassie gets a text and it's time for a game. It's a Mr. and Mrs. where the couples have to answer questions about each other and see how well they know each other. And
Mm-hmm.
before they get together for the game, the couples are like in their couples like trying to like ask each other questions and figure shit out. There was like a
Mm-hmm.
funny moment where Janae was like, "What's your favorite food?" And Kenny's like, "Chicken and rice." And she's like, "What?" And then
I was like,
Cordell,
what's
I know,
wrong
I'm like, I
with
like chicken and rice, but maybe because she knows he
chicken
doesn't season his food. She's like,
and
really?
rice? Oh.
Cordell and Serena are talking and like it's just his memory's terrible because they're like, let's
Oh,
go
he's
to
so
Japan.
bad.
And then shortly after she's like, okay, so what trip are we going on? And he's like, shit, Japan. And she's like, we are fucking losing. And I'm like, you just might. Um,
Right?
it's game time and it's Mr. and Mrs. And Ariana walks out stunting.
Killing it.
Literally, I think it was my favorite look she's done.
She eats every time.
It was like just like great tie-dye. Her body looked insane. I love the braid. The makeup was great.
Mm-hmm.
She flipped the
It was
braid.
giving Kim Kardashian braid. And
It
like it's
was.
I'm just like, Ariana, what's it like to like kill every outfit you wear? Like that's just amazing.
I know. She said on Chicks in the Office that when she got like the job, she was like, I need to go to the gym because I know they're gonna get me at every angle in slow-mo. So I need to like go
Oh,
ham. I'm like, girl, it's
Yeah.
paying off. You look
It's
amazing.
she does. She worked hard for it.
hmm So she comes, she introduces the game, and she tells everyone that the winners will get video calls from their family.
Mm-hmm.
So at first, this game confused me because it's one of those where it's like you get a question and then one person answers and then the partner has to guess the answer. But then
Mm-hmm.
the partner has to give their answer and then the other partner has to guess what they thought they would say. And I'm like, this is
Right.
too convoluted. But
Yeah, at times I got confused. And then this was Mr. and Mrs. Like, and while they were practicing, I was like, oh, so these questions are about you. But then they asked them questions about like what they think about other people and in the villa, and
yeah,
I was like, plot twist.
it was just meant to be messy. And it was like some basic
Yeah.
stuff that I'm like, it'd be nice if you knew, but sometimes things don't come up. So I'm kind of like, I don't
Right.
know.
Right.
But Cordell and Serena go up first. And the first question
Mm-hmm.
is, what's your partner's favorite vacation destination? And she said Japan. He also thought she would say Japan. It was kind of funny because this was the question that they went over.
Yeah.
And then he had also said Japan when he said what he thought, and then she said the same.
Mm-hmm.
So, the next question is, what annoys you the most about your partner? She wrote his short-term memory and he says snoring, and I'm like, that's just the perfect encapsulation of like, because I'm sure she
Literally.
said to him your memory.
Yeah.
And
She
then
told the girls that she said that.
hmm and then he said that her pettiness annoys him and she wrote down the same thing and it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is the shady question. Which islander does your partner think is the most selfish? Serena says Kendall because of Casa,
Yep.
and Kendall was
Mm-hmm.
butthurt. He's like, Casa was like so long ago. Like
We
so long
like
ago.
talked about it. It's fine. And it's like Kendall, just because you say sorry to somebody doesn't mean they forget that you were annoying and that you're selfish.
Right? And like who else was she gonna say?
Literally.
But he Cordell thought for some reason she was gonna say Janae. And then Cordell wrote that he finds Miguel the most selfish, but Serena says she thought he would say Leah because they got into that argument.
Yeah.
And
And
I'm
Leah
like,
looks salty too.
she did. She was like, what the fuck?
That's
Kenny and Janae are next, and there's like, what's your partner's coffee order? And
a
Janae's like,
hard ass question.
that is, because what if it's like a very descriptive, like cinnamon toast crunch
Right.
latte with oat milk?
Well, they have coffee in the villa, right? Maybe that's why it was supposed to be easy,
Oh,
but
true. What
I
if
thought
no
it was a hard
creamers?
question. I mean, they didn't get
They
it.
didn't, because Janae's like, I don't drink coffee, and he's like, plain black. And then he wrote his was plain black, but she also didn't think he drank coffee. And I'm like, do you guys not pay attention in the morning? Like what you're
He
drinking?
must not be drinking coffee, Brandon.
I guess. He like drinks tea instead. Which islander is the best kisser? She said Miguel, and then he thought Kendall because he won the challenge, the kissing
Hmm.
challenge from like the beginning of the season. And then he said Leah, but she thought he would say Kaylor because she won. So she like used his logic, but he didn't use it when he was answering his. I was like, what's happening?
Yeah, Rob was like, use your own logic, dude. And Kenny's just like, oh. And then Janae comes on and she's like, so at this point, I realized we're not meeting
I'm not
mom.
gonna meet your mom.
I'm not meeting his mom.
uh
They only got one right.
they did, yes, because it is the one. Which Islander is the biggest complainer? Which this sets up a funny moment later. But she puts
Mhm.
Kaylor, and he knew it was gonna be Kaylor, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Why me?" And she's like, "You just cry, which is fine, but like,
You
you
cry a
know."
lot,
And then he said Kaylor, but she thought he would say Serena for some
which
reason.
makes no sense.
Uh, Rob and Cassie are next. First question, favorite singer. She says Billie Eilish. He said that too. For his, it was Biba Doobie. And then she guessed that too. And I'm like, okay, y'all knowing this. Look at that.
Hmm.
Which Islander gives the ick? She said Kendall. He said Aaron. And then his answer was Janae, but she guessed
Hmm.
Leah. And people were clocking that Rob seemed kind of annoyed that she said Leah, and Leah was like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck?"
He was like rolling his eyes, and I'm like, you are so sassy. Just say how you feel.
I know, right? And my thing too, I'm like, it's not a crazy guess. You do act like you're annoyed with Leah. Like, even if you're not,
Yeah.
you act like it. So,
Right,
like,
and how is Cassie gonna know? She's like only been here for a day and she saw you guys arguing, so
yeah,
you have to also put yourself in. It's like they're not playing for these shady questions, they're not playing to win. They're just playing to like keep the cool.
right.
Because if he was smart, he would have said Leah too, knowing logically that we probably assume Leah.
Yeah. And I think they obviously didn't show all the questions the Islanders were asked. And Ariana was responding to comments on Instagram and saying, like, everyone was asked the same questions because people thought this competition was rigged for Aaron and Kaylor. And she's like, no, everyone was asked the same questions. And like,
The
it's
same exact questions?
like the same type of questions, I think, as far as like shady
Oh, like
questions.
one personal question and two shady questions.
Yeah, but they just didn't
That makes
show
sense.
everything. But I did
Oh,
notice that with Kassy and Rob, they showed most of their shady questions. But I think that's just
yeah.
because they don't know each other. So it's like, what are they
Yeah.
gonna show?
Right.
But their final question was, which Islander is here for the wrong reasons? She said
Mm.
Aaron because of Casa, but he put Rob himself. And then Kaylor goes, you could have done a better answer, Rob. A better answer. Is that Kaylor complaining? And everyone dies. I died
I was like,
too.
when Ariana's laughing at you, that's
Right?
rough.
That is because it's so
Ariana couldn't even
true.
contain it.
It
Yeah, it
was
is
just
so
perfect
true.
timing, perfect delivery. I was like, Rob, if you acted like this more, I could like you.
But she did have a point. Like
He did. Yeah, she
you could
did.
have said Aaron.
She was like, you could have put Aaron, but he didn't
Right
want to.
message, wrong deliverer.
Hmm. And then he put for his answer Kendall, which I took this as like a joke, and I think he was getting back at him because remember that one game where Kendall said
Yeah.
Rob couldn't be trusted? He's like, he's just
Yeah.
too nice. I don't trust it. Like, all right. And then Kassy guessed Aaron again though. Um, Kaylor and Aaron go. Their first question's favorite animal. She said mermaid. And Ariana's like, is that an animal? And she's like, if I believe it, it is. And it's like, okay, so you're one of those.
Kaylor.
But Aaron did guess mermaid. So like they got
Hmm.
it right. And then he says dog. She said dog. And then one red flag about your partner. She
I
said,
was cracking up. I was like, production is wild. Why would you ask them the red flag
I know,
question?
right?
Everybody else's questions were about other people, like, oh, who in
Oh,
the villa, blah, blah,
true.
blah. This one was like, what's a red flag about the guy
What's
across the
something you don't
way?
trust about Aaron? Go.
What's your biggest fear about the outside worlds with Aaron?
That he's a flirt. And then he said the same thing. And then for her, he said that she's a people pleaser, and she said the same. So they got all their
Mhm.
questions right.
Oh, and that makes a lot of sense with her behavior too, that she's a people pleaser.
It does.
Hmm.
Leah and Miguel go, and the question is, what was your partner's favorite subject? She said science. He said science. I'm like, all right. But then he said PE, and she guessed history. She's like, wait, PE? That's not a subject.
I
Like,
agreed with
what?
her. I was like, it's not, but I guess yeah, technically you do learn
And like,
about health and fitness.
technically, it's a class, but like, anyways. But I get what you mean. I was like, this is stupid.
Hmm.
Biggest regret in the villa. She said how she handled the Rob situation. He said the same. For him, he said it was what he said in the fire pit after Casa. And she put the same. So I'm like, okay, y'all are kind of in sync with like things like that. That's
Yeah.
good. Nicole and Kendall are next, and the question is favorite movie. She said Good Will Hunting, so did he. He said Shawshank Redemption, so did she. I haven't seen either of those movies.
I love Good Will Hunting. It's such a good movie, but I don't know what Shawshank Redemption is. It sounds like a karate movie or something.
I heard it's very intense. They asked this one, I was like, what is this? What is the name of your partner's best friend?
Again, everybody got a personal question and two like shady ones. Now
Yeah.
they like kind of, I mean, they
They didn't
didn't
show
use
any
their
shady with
advantage.
Nicole and Kendall.
Mm-mm.
But she said Bailey, so did he. He said Chad, so did she. Womp womp. Essentially, Kaylor and Aaron and Nicole and Kendall tie for first. So they have to go another round in the hot seats for a tiebreaker. And so they have the question, what percentage of marriages are likely to end in divorce in the first 5 years? Nicole and
That's a
Kendall
hard
say
ass question.
64. I know, right? I was like, I would have said like 53. Like, I don't
I feel
know.
like they should have asked them again, like something about themselves, or like, I don't know. This
Yeah,
game
this
makes
was
no
like a
sense.
random statistic that like, how would you
Literally.
know?
Right.
Uh, but Nicole and Kendall said 64, and then Kaylor and Aaron say 20. And I'm like, I thought both were wrong, but like I thought maybe Nicole and Kendall would be more right.
Yeah.
But the correct answer is exactly 20%. So Kaylor and Aaron win.
Kendall looked so defeated. He was like, "Damn, I'm
They
sorry.
did.
I'm
And
sorry I
Nicole
didn't
was
live." I
pissed
because
too.
because I think Nicole wanted to do a smaller number, and I was like, "These two competitive people cannot lose."
I know, right? But the plot twist, Kaylor and Aaron can choose two additional couples to also receive a call. And
Mm-hmm.
so they choose Nicole and Kendall, which is nice because they were second and like they deserve
Mm-hmm.
it. And Nicole cries because she misses her family. So that was sweet. But then the next couple they pick is Serena and Cordell, which
I
is so
love
good
that.
too.
Yeah.
And Serena's happy because her mom just had surgery. So she's been
I didn't
worried.
know that.
I know.
Yeah. I was like, this is so good. I thought he was gonna pick Rob and then maybe
I was worried. I was like, y'all better not because Kassy just got here.
yeah, she don't need to talk to nobody.
No. But I was like, this was such a happy ending to an episode. Like
It
for like one of the
was.
first times.
No, for real. Like it really it really has been. And like everybody's kind of in a positive, happy place. And I don't mind it.
I don't
I
either. It
don't
was
mind it.
nice. And it was good to end on and have a little day break in between. But there is an America's Vote where you vote for your
Mhm.
Mr. and Mrs. And it seems like there's going to be another couple leaving the villa by like the time the
Yeah.
vote's revealed. And so,
So I
did
wonder
you
if they're
vote?
gonna wean it down. I did. I did. So you said earlier you think that the final four will be like the top four that was just revealed.
Yes. I think those are
Do
going
they
to end up
bring it
being the
down to
top four.
four?
They do before finale, at least.
Oh, okay.
So I
I voted for
wonder. Oh, what? Sorry.
no, go ahead. You wonder what?
I just wonder, like, are they going to get rid of two couples when the vote's revealed, or are they going to get rid of like one and then another one before? I don't know.
Oh, because there's six right now, right?
Yeah. So I just wonder how they're going to do it. But we'll see.
Who are the girls? Serena, Janae, Nicole, Kaylor, Leah, and
Kassy.
Kassy. Okay, yeah, so there's six. Yeah.
Mhm.
So we should see Rob leaving hopefully soon.
Hopefully, short trip for Kassy. I'm like, what was the point of this?
Yeah. I wonder, she's probably not gonna make it to Sunday. I think once Sunday hits, then it's gonna be done.
I hope not. Like,
Yeah.
but I voted for Cordell and Serena. Did you also?
Me
I
too. I
had to.
don't
I
think
was
they'll
like, I'll
win
give it to
so
them.
bad.
I
Yeah.
know.
So finale night is coming up. You told me it's Sunday?
It's Sunday, the 21st.
That oh, that's intense. I didn't realize it
I
was ending
know.
so soon.
I didn't like, I thought we had another week, but then they
Yeah,
released that it was the 21st, and then someone was like, that's next week. And I'm like, oh shit, that is.
that's soon.
It is.
Wow.
So,
So yeah, a lot's gonna go down. They did not give these new bombshells any time. They're like, let's do something that will make people watch, but won't cause too much trouble.
well, I also feel like they waited a long time to like actually like show the bombshells
Yes.
because it was
They
like,
announced on Sunday at After Sun.
or like Saturday, and then they like,
Yeah.
Cassie was just came in on Tuesday. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
it was like three full episodes basically, or like I guess
Right.
the end of Monday. I don't know.
Yeah, they barely saw each other in the villa. It was like a high bye. Like Cassie's coming in and Harrison is leaving.
I
So
think they even
interesting.
they announced no, they didn't even announce the bombshells this past Saturday. It was a Saturday before. They were like
You're right.
it
You're
was like
right. You're
Harrison and
right.
Cassie, and they came in. So it was just like a week and a half ago, and then they were like, here they are, and I'm like, what was the point of this?
No, it's stupid. It's really stupid. Like she doesn't have time to do anything. I don't know why they did that.
I don't either. But
Uh,
that's it for everything, y'all. These were some fun episodes. We always find a way to
hmm
talk about everything and like yap
We
on.
do.
So,
I feel like there were a lot of funny moments. These ones were a
There
little
were.
dry, but it was still entertaining.
It was definitely a lot of funny moments. And so we'll be back next time to talk about the next three episodes. And then we'll have an episode, I think, strictly dedicated to the finale, which is fun. But then
Yeah.
sadly, Love Island will be over and we won't know what to do with ourselves.
Yeah. If y'all have suggestions of a show that's coming up that you want us to watch, let us know.
Let us know. We gotta brainstorm some because
Yeah.
Bravo is not hitting right now.
No, it's not.
So maybe we'll do a rewatch of something old. Maybe we'll do a
Yeah.
little more pop culture and like throw a show in. We'll see.
We could do something old. Big Brother started today.
Oh yes. We'll definitely talk a little about Big Brother, but that's a lot.
But
So
we're
like
not covering Big Brother. But we'll definitely be tuned in. I don't know. We're gonna have to do something. We'll figure it out.
we will. But in the meantime, y'all should rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Give us five
Yes.
stars, write a fun
5.
review. And then
Review.
also if you want to see our beautiful faces talk instead of just listening to our voices, and if you want to see our Love Island water bottles, you can subscribe to our
Mm-hmm.
YouTube channel at the Shade of It All podcast. And
Subscribe.
subscribe, please. And then, if you want to see fun clips, follow us on TikTok at the Shade of It All podcast. We say it
Mm-hmm.
every episode, but one day we will post on our Instagram at the Shade of It All pod.
Just follow us for now. We're trying to figure it
Right?
out. Damn.
In the meantime, come on, y'all. But yes, we'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.
And where's the fucking stop button? They always